30
down.
seconds each. Yeah.
I had to take
So
them
it
down.
was actually going live. We just, for some reason, we couldn't see it. Like,
It was the wrong videos that were going live.
that's
This time I did it manually. So I'm hoping, hey, it did work.
all right. Let's see. I got the notification here.
Right. We're going.
What am I hearing?
It did work. We are live. We're hearing ourselves. It's me watching me, watching me, watching me.
Me watching me, watching me, watching me, watching me, watching
All
me.
right.
Okay, here
Anybody
we are.
joining us for the first time?
I can hear me.
It's the Sisko day. I can hear you.
Oh no, not listen, Linda. Don't say that, listen, Linda.
It did work. We are live. What did Listen Linda say? It's me watching me, watching me.
She's already got a comment on the live feed. I joined you in the conversation tonight, but I could only get through the 10 minutes of this episode before I gave up. Linda and I are going to have words.
Wow. It's bad that the episode's only been started. It's only been going for 2 minutes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I have to turn this all down. Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, I guess that'll be part of the show proper as after we start.
Yeah, we'll read that.
I like it. I like it. We also got some other feedback from Linda and Albie. You're gonna have to pull some photos off of the email and pop them up. It's like a French porno in there.
A little bit of ambiance, a little bit of atmosphere.
I'll take your word for it, Chris.
Shot. What did Chris say? I missed it.
All that smoke, it's like a French porno in there.
Oh yeah, French. I'm trying to think. Usually I go for the Australian stuff. All right. Internationally. Am I centered good, Chris?
Yeah, I think you're all right. I think you can move
All
your
right.
camera a teeny bit to the left. Or you can move a teeny bit to your right.
Yeah. It was on reverse last time. That's what happened because we were recording all those science videos in the space station.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
And she's from a different generation, so
Everything's
she likes
gotta be
when stuff
reverse.
is mirrored. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get the live chat to work. Like I see it, but it's small. All right, studio chat, live stream chat. Here we go. All right, so I should be able to see messages that come up from now on. if
Are they
anybody
going to
wants-
be coming on to
They should
side of
be.
this chat? Okay,
They should be. I'm not positive because I connected it to YouTube manually.
gotcha.
So maybe somebody wants to keep a silent YouTube window open.
Yeah, I was thinking I might do that as well.
Okay, just
Studio
double
chat,
check.
hosts, producers, guests. Oh wait, that's just us. All right.
Should be live stream chat.
Oh wait, here we go. Live stream chat.
All right, I gotta fix my Borg node. It keeps going out.
Should I put something in the live stream chat to test it?
Sure, that's
Why
a great
not?
idea. You're a genius. Oh, did you get my messages on next time, Chris? What are your thoughts on that without saying it?
Oh, we can discuss it as we
Okay,
get
we can
to it.
discuss it. Save it for the show. It's gold. It's all gold, Jerry.
It's gold, Jerry. Save it for the show.
Save it for the show. DS9 season 1 episode 3 past prologue, and Catherine Powers and Renwick. I can never get it.
Okay, Damon is.
But
on
they call
there.
him Rich.
Damon just.
Colby. Yep. This
Logged in
is
as well.
testing.
So,
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, you know
see it
what? I think I know
on-
what it is.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
had it
so I
all
see
blown up for the
John's.
script. There we go. Now I can
But
read it all.
the funny, John, where did you make that comment?
In
On YouTube?
live stream chat.
Was that the YouTube live stream?
No, I meant.
I just-
okay, so
I
the
just did it
YouTube-
in the
You did it here in Riverside.
yeah, in the Riverside.
Right. So I guess the YouTube ones aren't showing up because the new one just came up from Damon too.
Okay, I can
And
have
Albie is
YouTube up on my
gonna
phone.
see what he can do about getting it. At least we're live. That's good.
We are live.
And we're live.
Okay. Smoke should be coming up. See any fog? It'll come up randomly.
I just did it in the
You did it here in Riverside.
yeah.
Okay. That's why we start 10:15, which is 10:40. Technical issues, but it worked this time.
We're literally.
So all the
good.
links that I posted everywhere should work.
Okay, cool.
All right. Hello and welcome back to Trek Exploration. I'm Albie,
And I'm Chris.
and joining
I'm
us
John.
today is John.
John.
We have not one but two published authors with us today.
The beautiful
John Irons, the beautiful
Irons.
John Irons.
Everybody, welcome the beautiful John Irons. Where's that applause sound effect? Yay!
You know what?
I'll put it
I
in
am
post.
as much as I appreciate it. I am not the beautiful John Irons. I'm just plain simple John.
Oh, you stole my joke. I'm plain and simple, Albie. Oh, well.
I think we're all plain, and we're all definitely simple.
Definitely simple.
Yeah.
I'll work on it. I'll be more eccentric in the future.
Who's got their YouTube chat window opened up with sound? Because I'm hearing it.
Are you?
I'm hearing it somewhere.
My sound is off, but I've got it up.
This is reminding me of the days of me and Juan. We did a live call-in show, and it was called Questionable Calls.
Yes.
And it was just 2 hours of technical issues. It's very funny.
When I talk, I can hear me.
I can. I also
You're
hear
not
it.
echoing anywhere here.
Okay.
I can hear the echo. Is it me?
Oh, do you?
Yeah. It
Should I
can-
close this?
Are you bleeding, John?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's the YouTube window because it's a little too immediate. The YouTube is
No,
usually got
it's
a
not.
few
I
seconds.
just
Could be a
closed it.
microphone
I
bleed.
just closed it. I can still hear it.
Yeah, there is an echo going on here.
Only for you?
No, I can hear it.
I can't hear anything. Testing
Okay.
1 2.
Testing 1 2. Testing
Yeah,
1
there's
2.
a little bit of an echo. I don't have it open anywhere.
Just an echo. You
Let me make sure all the things are shut off.
in the valley. You.
In the highway, in the hedges, people. Oh, John Irons doesn't have his echo cancellation turned on.
Oh.
I did have it. I did the thing.
I think you got to say I am not wearing headphones, even if you are. Did you want to go out and come back in?
Is that going to screw up the live feed?
I don't think so. I think that'll keep us all live everywhere. It'll just change his thing.
All right.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
So go out, say you aren't wearing headphones, and come back in.
just leave completely.
Yep. And then redo the thing and say you are not wearing headphones.
Okay, that's hardly intuitive, but I'll be right back.
It is very not hardly intuitive. Where did he go?
He's gone. Maybe he put on a pair of glasses and we can't recognize him now. You're not Albie. Who are you?
I'm Albie. Plain and simple Albie.
I'm thinking of
Is this part of the show or should I start over? I think I'll start over.
maybe we can start over. It's okay.
it'll make
it's
the
part of the
edit
it's part of the live
easier.
show for the people watching.
Yeah,
live.
the fun stuff.
Look, he's back. The beautiful.
He's
John
back,
Irons is
and his
back.
echo's gone. It should be. Hello, testing echo.
Hello, and the echo. I still hear it.
I still hear it too.
Really?
I think it's you.
Me? Let me
Yeah,
turn my
because
volume down.
we don't hear it when you speak, but we hear it when we speak. Turn your volume down. That's better.
What about now?
Yeah, now it's gone.
Okay, I'll just have to
But you
prick
can
up
still
my ears.
you can still hear us, right?
Yeah. What?
Why don't you be like a human being who podcasts and wear some headphones?
I was relying on technology, and technology has let me down.
So should I go out again and come back
No,
and
no,
say,
it's
yeah,
not.
actually,
Maybe me this
I am
time.
really I really am wearing headphones.
Yes. Okay. We're going to start again. Hello, and welcome back to Trek Exploration. I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris.
And today, we not only have one published author, but two.
Two.
The beautiful John Irons.
Hello.
So beautiful.
You flatter.
So
Too
John.
kind. Too kind.
Not repeating his joke for the live.
Well, I didn't want to step on it. I think someone else called dibs. We can
Step
all do
on my
it.
joke. It's your joke.
We'll start one more time. Chris, you can have it this time.
Okay. Hello, and welcome back to Trek Exploration. I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris.
I'm John.
And today, we have not one, but two published authors with us. The beautiful John Irons.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
John
Gorgeous.
is just doing it so that we have to start over and over and over again and
think
call
so.
him beautiful.
Yeah.
This would be good in that time loop episode.
I think so.
Yeah. But today we're talking about Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 3. It's kind of the second one, but, 3, that's what we're going by. Past Prologue. And this one was, the original air date was January 9th, 1993, and it was written by Catherine Powers and directed by Rich Colby. So that's cool.
Weinrich.
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 But Kate called him Rich. But they had a close relationship, so I guess she can.
Oh,
I've never met the man. I don't think I have.
I mean, you're no Kate. is all I'm
I
saying.
am no Kate.
So,
I am no Kate. So, John, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us. I am excited to announce, for the first time on Trek Exploration, your book. Can you tell us a little bit about your new book?
I can. It is it is called 1700 Esoteric Syllables About Yo Mama.
Yo Mama.
Yeah.
When I searched it, I just searched Yo Mama because I didn't know the rest of it.
Did it come up?
John Irons, Yo Mama, it came up.
Fantastic. I want to call that a win. Just a lot worse things could have come up if you search John Eyes and Yo Mama.
Well, that was on Amazon. I searched. So.
Okay, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, if I
John
Irons and my mama.
It is. I should. Yeah. Sorry.
If anybody, I would, be.
New to the whole
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's like a real book.
It's
like,
nice.
look at that.
Yeah.
You're going on a signing tour? What you gonna do? How do I get mine signed? Do I buy it and send it to you?
I'm going on a reverse signing tour, so yes, you have to come to me.
I will. Washington.
yes,
I'll meet you at the train station.
I will absolutely sign books for anyone who wants to have one signed.
What's it about?
So it is. First, let me say it is. I did co-write the book with my very good friend, comedian, regular guest to Captain Game Show, Jared Stern. It was initially actually his idea. As part of my show, Captain Game Show, Trivia Wordplay Podcast of the Infant Potato Alliance Podcast Network, there's a section called Intermission Improv. And during this section, I issue little challenges to the guests, among which sometimes is I have them write haikus on the fly. So like sometime last year, Jared was like, hey, I got this idea for a book. I realized that this is him. This is Jerry. I'm speaking for him. He realized that Yo Mama So, and as long as it's a one syllable insult, it's 5 syllables. And it's a nice start to a haiku, nice start to Yo Mama joke. And the stars aligned and inspiration struck. And he was like, you know what? I think we can do a whole book of this. I'm going to do 50 Yo Mama jokes. It's like, hey, do you want in on this, basically? And initially, I thought he was just like asking for, because he would send me some, and I was like, what do you think? What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I was like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You know, you might want to change this. You might want to change that. And after, I guess, a couple of weeks, he also has a podcast, Between Two Sterns, also on our network. I hear him on this podcast talking to his podcast partner, also named Jared Stern, that hey, I'm co-writing a book with John Irons. I was like, oh, are we co-writing a book? In which case, my criticism became far more pointed, and I started cranking out haiku in order to pull my weight. And I was like, we could do 50, but we're just, let's make it a nice round 100.
Wow.
And so we did. We put our heads together, and we wrote. We actually ended up writing about 115. Chose the cream of the crop and tweaked and polished and this and that, and 100 Yo Mama joke haiku.
So this is really good for the educated kid in the schoolyard.
This is good.
That doesn't quite have the instinct for the Yo Mama jokes and comebacks.
Yeah,
they can do the research and bring the book along with them.
Ready, loaded, matriarchal ammo.
I like that. Who wrote the foreword?
The foreword. Oh, that was me.
Oh, I was going to guess Chris. Chris, did you read my book I sent you yet? I don't want to publish it until you read it.
It was my mama. No, Albie, I haven't read a damn thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem.
This is the wrestling one, right?
No, that's the movie script. This was my book.
Okay, which one?
The one that starts off on a train.
Yeah,
No?
I don't remember. You sent me a lot of stuff. We've had
I
this
do.
before. You sometimes you bombard me with stuff. It kind of
I
gets
do.
lost in the shuffle.
I'm
So
plain simple Albie.
I feel like yeah, and you're the king of the non sequitur, and so it's just like you send me 3 videos about 3 different things, and then I don't know what goes on, and then something else comes up, and then it's just like I'm working, and then 4 more things have gone by, and one of them's on Instagram, and the other one's on the Messenger, and the other one's somewhere off in the ether on a thing that I haven't used in years. So
Yep.
it's not you, Albie, it's me. Well,
So
it's
you
kind of
didn't
you
get my
too.
MySpace, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's both of us. It was that douche Tom from MySpace.
John, what's been happening in your life since we last talked, except for the book, in addition to the book?
That's a good question. Aside from the book that's available on Amazon,
Amazon. Link below, provided later.
yeah,
Right, and maybe we'll put a
On the
QR
replay.
code up. I don't know if we can do that. I'm just
I can do that. Yeah, sure.
There we go.
Kindle price is $5.75.
Nice.
Paperback price $17.
Yeah, I'll get the paperback.
I'm
I'll get the paperback.
because it's 17 syllables. All right. What else is going on in my life?
How's the kids?
Kids are fine. Kids are fine.
What's their ages now?
Zara, my daughter, is 14. Malcolm, my son, is 11.
Malcolm, named after Malcolm McDowell, of course.
No,
Malcolm Reed.
no.
Malcolm is Vulcan for
Getting warmer.
Serenity.
Getting warmer.
He's named after Malcolm in the Middle. I know, John.
Ah, there you go.
He is often called Malcolm in the Middle. Let's see what else is going on with me. Saw Thunderbolts, which I enjoyed.
Yeah,
very
that was
much.
good.
Saw Sinners, which I loved.
I want to see that. I've heard really good things.
It's very good. It's very good. Saw The Day the Earth Blew Up, which
Never
is
heard of it.
the Looney Tunes latest film, now available on demand.
Okay, it is out.
It's out. It's on demand now. It's not bad. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, I have very eclectic tastes in film.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I feel like I saw something else, but Poker Face is back on Peacock, original series by Ryan Johnson, starring
Oh, I
Natasha
like the lead
Lyonne.
actress on that.
Natasha
She was in
Lyonne.
that time travel show a couple years ago.
Russian Doll.
Yes, Russian Doll. Love that. So I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, that's a good series as well.
Yeah, Adam Savage said Sinners was his favorite film of the year. So I was like, yeah, I got to watch it. It's still in the theater, so it must be doing good.
It is. Yeah, it's still in there.
And it's out, I think, digitally too.
Oh, is it already?
Yeah, I want to say like iTunes or something like that. Chris, what you been up
that's
to,
me.
my friend?
Hi.
It's been a week or so.
It's been a week or so. Yeah. I was a little delayed getting here because I was out in the garage polishing my radio, and that's
Is that what they call it now?
that's not a
Euphemism?
euphemism.
I polished my radio last night.
No, I've been working on restoring the cabinet for an old radio that I got. Oh my God, it's 10 years ago at this point. It's been
Wood or
sitting-
Bakelite?
It's wood. It's a wood cabinet. It's like a 1931 Stromberg Carlson, and I gave it a complete makeover. I did a complete different like staining, like two-tone staining on it, and I think I really made it look nice. But I just could not get the freaking finish right. I don't know if it's because I haven't used this polyurethane in many years, and it's just not adhering the way it should, or if I just lost my touch. But I finally put like the fifth and final stripping, sanding, everything. I got it to looking, pretty good. If you look close, there are still some flaws, but at this point, I can't strip and stain again. So
Buff the wood, buff the wood.
that's what I'm doing. I just gave it. So that's what I was doing. I was watching before I sat down to watch past Prologue, season 1, episode 3 of DS9, which we're talking about tonight, just to remind everybody. I put the last coat of polyurethane was finally like completely dry and cured, and I put a coat of paste wax all over the outside of the cabinet. So I was buffing that out.
Is the polyurethane archival?
I don't know what that means.
It just means it'll last a long time without like any acids in it, like discoloring.
Sure, I don't know. It's mid wax. You tell me.
Okay.
Or mini wax or mid whatever. I get they
Min-wax.
have the one. Yeah, they have the one.
Min-wax
They have
and
the one
wood.
little jar at the hardware store. So that's what I pick up.
Going to the
So anyway, I
hardware
can't wait to
store.
show some before and after pictures of
Okay,
this
yeah,
radio.
picture didn't happen.
Yeah, and it's just actually it's very it's nice because I like to do the refinishing. Like I look at lately, I've been watching a lot of furniture refinishing videos, and that was like an interest of mine, like so many years ago, decades ago. and I'm starting to get back into it. And doing these little radio cabinets has been a lot of fun. I've done a few now, both plastic, bakelite, and wood. This is my most ambitious wood one because it was like falling apart. But I think I made it. I brought it back to life. So
I'm
I
excited.
just now have to learn how to repair the actual radio part so it plays, and then we'll be good to go. You know, I can do some transistor stuff. I know how to put new like capacitors in, so I can get transistors working pretty well again. But the old tube sets are just so complicated.
And just slip a little Bluetooth speaker.
That's what
in
Albie
there.
says.
Yeah, that's
too.
what I always do to my old ones, so I can
Cheat.
play
Yeah.
my MP3s on there, my old time radio.
Yeah, I
Very
got
cool
one.
hobby.
I got a new project coming up with the help of the beautiful Scott Madison, who did our graphics here for Trek Exploration.
Ah,
I have an old GE, an old plastic GE. It turns out I thought it was a transistor set, but it's a tube set, and it has a unique dial that gave me a very specific idea. So it's like from 1965. It's not like very valuable, but I'm going to do like an art project out of it, and that is one that I'm going to share here on Trek Exploration as I get it done. I'll do like a
excited.
whole. Maybe I'll try to do like a whole video of it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to set up my phone in the garage so that you can see what I'm doing, and it's a little bit more involved than I know how
live
to, how
stream.
to
I would
handle.
watch that live stream. Buff in
I
the
mean,
wood.
just plus then I'd have to send all the files to Reductive Arts and
Yeah.
pay you to actually make a video out of it. So
It could happen.
yeah,
We could
yeah.
do it.
So yes,
Speaking of
so,
Reductive
so I was-
Arts, that's
I
our
was
sponsor for
polishing,
this
polishing my
episode.
radio. Yes,
I have,
Reductive Arts.
we'll talk a little bit more about it after the break. I have two questions before we start talking about this episode of Deep Space Nine. One, John Irons, is there really a musical number in Sinners?
Yes.
I heard it was like Bollywood, just like in the middle. Okay, don't spoil anything else. So that's enough for me to go. And Chris, okay, John.
No. I'm not
Okay, I
spoiling
forgot my
anything else.
question. I was more interested in the musical number. All right. All right, we're talking about Deep Space Nine, Season 1, Episode 3, Past Prologue. Again, January 9th, 1993, written by Catherine Powers and directed by Winrick Colby. Chris, can you do your amazing episode synopsis for us?
All right, I put this one together on the fly. You know, usually I get very jokey in these synopses, but wow, this is DS9. This is it's
Ooh,
right out
hard
the
to joke.
gate. Right out the gate, heavy DS9. stuff
Hopefully
going
there's a
on here.
corduroy joke in there. That's all I could think of.
Okay, you're going to have to, insert corduroy joke when you feel appropriate. Dr. Bashir is just chilling in the Replimat when he has a chilling encounter with the last Cardassian on DS9, Garak. There are rumors that Garak is a Cardassian spy, but he insists that he is a plain, simple tailor looking to make new friends. This freaks Bashir way the heck out, and he runs to Ops to tell Sisko about the encounter. As Ben is trying to calm Julian down, Kira picks up a distress call. A Bajoran scout ship is under fire from a Cardassian ship in Bajoran space. O'Brien beams the pilot aboard just as the ship is destroyed. Turns out said pilot is Tanalos, the head of a Bajoran splinter faction that is still bringing the fight to the Cardassians. He and Kira know each other from their days with the Bajoran resistance during the Cardassian occupation of Bajor. He requests asylum aboard DS9, much to the chagrin of Gul Dunar, who calls Los a wanted terrorist and murderer, an assassin. I believe he said assassin. Kira insists that Sisko grant the asylum. He says he'll consider it and stalls the Cardassians. Kira berates Sisko. You don't know what it was like during the occupation. If Bajor is to grow into its independence, it needs men like Tahana. I'm not going to say that right this whole episode. Ben says he will take it under advisement. Speaking of Tana, Kira visits. Isn't Tana like a Lower Decks character?
Yeah, it is.
That's what you're doing.
Okay, so it's Tana.
I want to say it's Tana.
It's just-
I had
It's
trouble
Tana.
with it too.
It's
Yeah,
just Tana.
speaking of Tana, Kira visits him in sickbay, and he accuses her of selling out, mocking Kira's involvement in the Bajoran Provisional Government and her role as Starfleet liaison. Kira is taken aback, but it's all like the wormhole has changed everything. We need Starfleet to keep the Cardassians at bay, or they would be back in a second to gain control over the portal and the Gamma Quadrant. Tana is unmoved, but butters Kira up enough that she goes over Sisko's head to Starfleet brass to press for Tana's asylum, which gets back to Ben, who is all like, "Just try a stunt like that again, Major.
I dare you. Enter two familiar Klingon faces, the Duras sisters, Lursa and Bator. They have come to DS9, and Odo is suspicious because Odo is always suspicious. He rats out and follows them to a secret meeting with Tana Los. Garak is suspicious as well and cues Bashir in on the fact that the sisters have approached him as well, trying to sell Tana Los out to the Cardassians. Despite her divided loyalties, Kira eventually sees that Tana Los is a manipulative, gaslighting douche and volunteers to go with him on his rendezvous with the Klingons. Sisko and O'Brien follow and observe at a safe distance. At the meeting, Tana gives the Duras sisters a sack full of gold-pressed latinum in exchange for a cylinder of Billitrum, anyway, some stuff, some spacey stuff, an element that Tana can use to make an antimatter bomb. Kira tries to stop him, but he subdues her, revealing his dastardly plan. He's going to use the bomb to collapse the mouth of the wormhole so Bajor can be left in peace. Kira is like nothing doing, bud, and zooms the runabout through the wormhole into the Gamma Quadrant where she subdues Tana and detonates the bomb harmlessly into space. An incensed Tana Los gets them back to the Alpha Quadrant and threatens to kill Kira. Sisko is like, you have a simple choice. Deal with me or deal with the Cardassians. Knowing the Cardis will kill him, Tana Los surrenders. And as he's being led away in irons, Kira tries one more time to sell him on the idea of joining the new fight for Bajor's future. He calls her a traitor and skulks off because he's a jerk. The end.
The end, because he's a jerk.
So I don't know, was there a corduroy joke in there somewhere that I missed?
Oh, no, I was just watching Kira's outfit, and I was noticing the costume is kind of just like a plain polyester, but her actual outfit is corduroy in this area and her collar, so, you know.
I was like, what's the corduroy thing? Is it based on the classic children's book about the little stuffed bear?
Oh, I remember the other question, Chris. Did you ever see the Veritasium on vacuum tubes?
I don't know what you're, again, you have,
recommend it.
I feel like we live in different universes.
Probably. Well, I'm up here in space floating around.
That's true. That's
working
true.
hard on
I don't know what that
side.
is. Can you explain to me what that is? And I can tell you if
Veritasium,
I've
it's
seen
one of
it.
the most popular science channels on YouTube. I highly recommend
Oh,
it.
yeah. I see. You watch YouTube shows. I don't even watch our YouTube show.
Yeah. Well,
I do
See,
watch,
this-
you're
I do
missing
watch
a lot.
people refinishing furniture on YouTube.
Yeah,
This is
there's
what
a lot of that,
happens
too.
when you have three nerds and like a wide base of knowledge. Because you said Veritasium, I heard Veritasium, I think, which is the truth serum from Harry Potter.
We got all kinds of nerds here.
And I thought Veritasium was what Wolverine's clothes were made of.
I think it's a real element, and the guy just thought it was a cool name.
Or is that Cap's shield is made out of Veritasium?
So
Neither.
we got comments already. I don't have Linda's comment. Do you have Linda's comment, Chris? Because I had refreshed.
Yeah. Linda, when we first got on live, she sent this. She said,
Cadet,
I would
listen,
join
Linda.
you. Listen, Linda, our cadet. She said, I'd join you in the conversation tonight, but I could only get through 10 minutes of this episode before I gave up. So we got Linda's first impressions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, first impressions. Let's start with our guest, the beautiful John Irons.
So I don't have a. All right, so first off, DS9 is my favorite show, but unlike many Trek fans, I don't have like all the episodes remembered or anything. So when he just gave me the title of the episode, I looked it up. I was like, oh, cool, episode 3. And I hadn't seen DS9 in a while, so I watched the first 3 episodes. I watched all 3 back to back. And I had forgotten which one, like, I don't remember where things fall in the series for the most part. My first impression was I did remember this episode once it started. I liked this episode. Yeah, first impression, I liked the episode. We can get into the details of it later, but it was a good establishment of kind of Kira, the Sisko Kira dynamic. They touched on it a little bit in the previous episodes, but I feel like this really kind of set the stage.
Chris.
I am once again blown away by the quality of DS9 right out the gate. We talked about it a lot during our review of Emissary, Albie, how fully formed everything seemed in that pilot. I think it's as good as the Enterprise pilot. Don't at me. I think that this showed that we're not going to be watching TNG Part 2 here. It's establishing itself as something completely different in the Star Trek universe. and I just have so much to talk about with this episode. It was so packed. I'm glad I was able to watch it twice because it helped me, distill everything that was going on so I could at least write the synopsis. I mean, just wow, jammed in a good way. What about you, Albie?
Well, Cadetless and Linda is an amazing, beautiful person, just like John Irons. But I'm going to have to disagree with her and go more with what you said, Chris. Looking back at this episode, just in my memory, I just pretty much usually remember the thumbnail, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy terrorist thing, and not so great. But rewatching it, I was blown away by, like you said, right out of the gate, the quality. I was amazed, and I couldn't believe what I was watching and how good it was. And I kept thinking, wow, this is really good for a second or third episode of a Star Trek series. But then I remembered it's really like a season 5 or 6 of TNG, when it's like production people and different things, music, things that are very integral to telling the story. The writer, I'm not sure I've know what other episodes she's done, if any, but I just think it was perfect. And I was blown away. So we got a lot to talk about. Today we are continuing what was yesterday, which is the Sisko Day. And Ben Sisko Day. So we were close. We didn't get yesterday because I think Chris had a Cthulhu podcast.
Yeah, I was doing an episode or 2 episodes of Rick Tatro's podcast, the Unspeakable. And not the Unspeakable, just Unspeakable, which is a real play podcast set in the Lovecraftian Cthulhu mythos. Mm-hmm. So you can get that. I think that we put it up on our show when we're playing the game. What was the name of the game? The DS9.
DS9 Harbinger.
Harbinger, right. So you can see us play the first half of that game for a couple hours, and we talk about the Unspeakable podcast. But that's what I was doing last night. Had I known that it was Sisko Day, the Sisko Day, I would have disrupted the entire Unspeakable production schedule, and we would have done this live. We would have celebrated the Sisko in a manner befitting of The Last Prophet. What is the Sisko Day?
Just celebrating Ben Sisko. It was announced by Cirroc Lofton. And, I read something recently is that traditions are just dead people from the past peer pressuring us. So, every tradition just starts somewhere.
I mean, Sisko's not really dead.
Yeah. Well, let's not spoil it.
Kind of like Spock's not really dead if we keep him in our hearts.
If we remember him, yeah. Yeah. And, you're not really dead until the last person forgets you, right?
Right. That was a great short story that somebody wrote. I don't know. I think they read it on Radiolab about that idea of like the 3 deaths you have and how the afterlife is and where you go in the afterlife depending on how many people remember you. They had Jeffrey Tambor read it. I know he's #problematic now, but
oh, is he? Okay.
He did a fantastic job reading these stories. You can probably search Jeffrey Tambor Radiolab Death Story or something like that.
I know you don't watch animated films often, Chris, but there's a Pixar movie named Coco that is
I love Coco.
Is entirely about that. Mm-hmm. That's literally the plot of the movie.
Oh, really? Yeah, I recommend that. It's worth a watch.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You will cry at the end.
Well, I did several times. So before we start all our discussion, Chris, you got some stuff to talk about?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, before we prove Linda wrong, Linda Long too, Linda Lavin, she's dead. Before we prove, Linda wrong.
Oh, we remember her.
We need you in her heart, right? She can't move on because I just mentioned her name.
Alice doesn't live here anymore.
I really teed that one up for you. Reach out to us. Tell us what you think of this episode. You can do so right here on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@TrekExploration.
Comment down below, especially now. We'll read your comment.
We need the algorithm to notice us. We need more and more and more.
Algorithm.
Please do.
Al Gore was right.
Rhythm. I got algos. You can support us at patreon.com. Patreon.com/TrekExploration is where you can support the show. You can find different levels of support there and different and mores that you can get with those levels of support.
And more
is once again patreon.com/TrekExploration. Instagram us. Hit us up on the gram at TrekExplorationPod.
Somebody will check that.
Blue Sky us at TrekExploration.bluesky.social. Albie is still doing dances over on TikTok, tiktok.com/@TrekExploration.
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Send us an email like Listen Linda emails us quite a bit, and we're going to get to that in a second. That's trexplorationpod@gmail.com. And of course, you can give me a thrill because I check it every weekend. You can send us anything you'd like at our P.O. Box. That's P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705. The beautiful Bayport, New York, here on sunny Long Island. P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705. We want to give a shout out to our crew of intrepid Trexplorers. That includes Cadet Listen Linda. And we also have our Lieutenant Commander Scott Seligman and Cosplay Dad, and of course, Captain on the Bridge,
Captain
Charles from Texas, and eternal thanks to our patron saint, the omnipotent Willard.
The omnipotent Willard.
He's our lifetime member. You
member.
can figure out how to become a lifetime member as well. Just direct message Albie.
Yep, I'll let you know how it works.
He'll give you the deets, but any and all support that you want to give us is always appreciated, but you can always join us there on the Patreon for free as well. And we want to thank all of you who support, listen, subscribe, share the show. Send us your photos. If you want, we'll put you in our credits.
Yes.
And speaking of photos, Listen Linda sent us some pics. Do you guys want to hear
Dude, I
about
got to check this out. I got to go.
Yeah, so first, she writes, first, I hope everything's okay with your mom, Albie.
Oh, thank you.
Discussed
Hanging
that on
in
the
there.
last show.
She's hanging in there. Good days, bad days. A lot of neurological problems due to a fall, a brain bleed, and all the fun stuff that happens when you're in your 80s.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but she's home and she's being well taken care of.
Oh, good, good. Yeah. So all our thoughts are with you. Linda's
Thank
as
you.
well. Linda wanted to share some pictures that she took the weekend that she sent the email that she thought we might enjoy. The first is me as Rosie the Riveter with satin dolls. And the second is with Captain America, a.k.a. Cosplay Pope. At Cosplay Pope, I guess you can find him on the socials. This is Linda as Rosie the Riveter, and it's basically like the OG Captain America from the first Avenger.
Ah,
And it's a really cool picture. The other one with the satin dolls is a black and white one of Linda as Rosie the Riveter, and the satin dolls look like the Andrews sisters, but I guess the satin dolls is maybe that's their.
I love the
their
Andrews
shtick.
sisters.
And they're around like a MASH type Jeep, like an army Jeep from World War II. Yeah, so
Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy.
and she says regarding the Captain America, I know Chris is more of a DC guy, but I thought you'd still enjoy it. I do enjoy it, Linda, because as a matter of fact, if we're going to talk about my favorite Marvel character in the cinematic universe is, head and shoulders above anybody else is Steve Rogers. I love Captain America. So I think these photos are fantastic. Albie has already put them up. For those of you who are listening to this on the podcast, come and see it on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@Trexploration. And this goes back to a joke that we had with Linda the last time that she was on with us, or maybe one of the times before that. By the way, that's our Jeep in the background. One of the cars my second husband has to be able to fix. See you soon, Linda. So
She's
Linda
got more
said
than one husband.
Well,
Wow.
she said if she's got married again, she would have to be with someone that knew how to fix cars. So yeah, thank you,
Good
Linda.
plan.
These
I
are
can
great
change
pictures.
I can change a starter in the dark in the rain.
Oh, that's good.
That's
That
it.
sounds like the beginning of
Beautiful friendship.
like a murder mystery,
Speaking of, you got to read my
Like an
book.
action thriller. What about a book? Who's got a
Okay.
book?
I wrote a book.
You brought a book? What book did you buy? What book did you
I
buy?
sent it to you.
Oh, geez, the action thriller. That's where we're going with this.
Starts on a train.
It starts on a train.
It starts on a train with you.
It's in black and white. The book is in black and white, Chris.
With you putting in like a new catalytic converter in your VW.
Oh no, I
Rabbit.
just take them out.
Oh, okay.
We don't get inspections in Florida, so
You take them out. You sell them.
Take
for
'em
the-
out.
They,
That's
they,
it.
they're worth their weight in gold. For
Straight
what I
pipe.
understand.
yep.
I like it. I like it. So, well, I mean, if you would like to be like Listen Linda, send us your comments. Those will be reviewed and most likely used here on the show. We read everything that comes into us, and we appreciate all the feedback. So, please keep it coming. Thank you, Linda. Those pictures are fantastic.
Thank you so much, and we'll put them in the end credits too. Send in those pics.
And then them pics.
Make
Well,
sure it didn't happen. I implore you, Linda, give this episode another try.
yeah, we got so much to
good.
discuss. I mean, which is like we just because you said it was perfect, Ali, but just getting into the convoluted, messy world that is Deep Space Nine. Like third episode, they're really hammering home to you that this is not next gen. This is not that sterile, philosophical, exploration environment. This is sort of down and dirty in the mud. Like you could see, like if DS9 could, it would have like boardwalk streets above like giant mud puddles. It's like Deadwood up in there. And yeah, just
That's actually
seeing.
really good. Like if Star Trek is Wagon Train, DS9 is Deadwood. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think that they had I think they what was it? Right, the Rifleman or
Wagon
that's-
Train to the Stars.
No,
yeah.
no. Well, Wagon Train was Star Trek, and then when DS9 came on,
Oh, did they say
did
something?
they did compare it to another old Western. I think what is the one? Maybe
We
it
gotta
was.
check it out.
It wasn't Dead. Well, I'm thinking now. I got Deadwood on the brain. What a great show Deadwood is.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Cole Meany.
Gunsmoke, Bonanza.
Gunsmoke. I think it was
Captain.
Gunsmoke. Yep.
Gunsmoke.
Yeah, the sheriff
compared
and
it
he's
to, to
defends the
Gunsmoke.
town. Yeah, that,
This
that
this was
tracks.
giving me major Babylon 5 vibes when it was at its best.
I have, yeah, I've never seen B5. I tried to watch the pilot and then I stopped because I thought maybe we'd want to talk about it on the show, so I'd want to be.
I said
fresh
to the
about it.
link, what was it? The inevitable Babylon 5 podcast. But
Yeah,
you're a busy
yeah.
man.
I know that Neek would be interested in
Yeah.
doing that.
I think
or
I included her in the chat too
yeah.
or something.
our friend Neek.
I was hopeful, but your wife doesn't work nights anymore, so you have a life now.
No, yeah, that's the
it's
thing.
difficult to get you.
Oh,
now.
you asked me what was going on. I have to
Yeah.
do a shout out. I know we still haven't talked about-
Congratulations!
Congratulations to my wife, Dr. Laura Vendetti.
Yay.
She got her doctorate.
So you are now Mr. Doctor
I'm
Laura.
Mr. Dr. Vendetti, yes.
There you go. Awesome. Congratulations.
Pretty good.
Every boy's dream to
insist-
marry a doctor.
I insist on being addressed as Mr. Dr. Vendetti from here on out. Thank you
Mr.
very
Dr.
much.
Vendetti.
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
All right. He's
That's
the
a
omnipotent
huge
Willard
accomplishment.
And Mr.
Is-
Dr. Vendetti.
Is Mr.
I would
Dr.
trust her with
Di
my
Philippis
life.
Vendetti the most Italian name ever?
She's brilliant. She's a brilliant, kind person. I'm honored to have met her.
Yeah, so we had her graduation. She graduated from Columbia on Tuesday, and they put the hood over her and everything because she got, like I said, the doctorate. And I'm so proud of her. She is like the smartest, most intelligent person, and she deserves everything. She worked her ass off for this. So
Well,
everybody
as you
give
know,
her-
behind every good woman is a good man. So
Give a
she
shout
couldn't
out
have done it
to
without
Laura.
you.
Well, I'm sure she could have done it. Maybe it would have been easier without me nattering your telling her what she should do. You know me, I'm a little controlling, just a little bit. So
Confusing your head with Star Trek and Cthulhu.
right, Cthulhu.
She would have graduated earlier if she hadn't mistaken that pre-ganglionic fiber for that post-ganglionic nerve.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
true. That was
Nice.
my fault. That was my fault. And I own that. I own that. It's as messy as DS9 sometimes, but you have to just embrace your past, even if you were a terrorist or a freedom fighter, or who's to say?
This episode is like nothing that was on television at the time at all, I don't think. I mean, well, I guess it's syndication. I was going to say what network would approve just a television show about dealing with terrorists in the second or third episode, you know?
I think
Heavy
that's-
subject.
That was something that DS9 did again right out of the gate to distinguish itself from like a next gen. Next gen was all lofty ideals and the pursuit of principle and exploration for exploration's sake, so that we could better ourselves. And DS9 takes the veneer off that when you're not on the premier research vessel on the vanguard of Starfleet's mission to better humanity. You got to deal with the politics. You got to deal with the bureaucracy. You got to deal with keeping the whole thing running. And the fact that they gave this job to Sisko was almost like a punishment / okay, this is your last chance to prove yourself after Wolf 359. I forget what it is, why he was sort of busted down, but I recall from the pilot that this was his. Wait, stop that. No, I'm wrong.
No,
He got
no.
it. He didn't want it. He wanted to leave.
He didn't want it because he's like,
Right.
I'm a single dad. I'll need to raise my
Yep.
kid, and this is not a place to raise a kid.
Right. You
not
just
necessarily
watched it, John.
yeah.
So help me out. I think I'm misspeaking here.
Well, I
Yeah.
understand all that. Yeah, you definitely want to have a good environment and the time and to be able to spend with your kid when they're that young because it goes so quick.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Great dad, great dad. The opposite of Worf.
a lot of the criticism that we see about DS9 is that it's not really Star Trek because it's where Roddenberry's vision was chucked for the sake of more drama, a little bit more of, as our friend Rick likes to say, leaving behind allegory for reality. And what do you guys think about that? Because it is a marked change from that feeling.
Well, listening to you just now, it kind of struck me that, like, comparing it to Next Generation, I was I was thinking like, could this have been an episode of Star Trek? And it could have been, or Next Generation, and it could have been, but it would have been different because basically they would have had the same philosophical thing. Okay, we've got this ex-terrorist, who's vying for asylum, right? That is absolutely a plot that could happen on the Enterprise. But the difference is it would just be the captain making the decision. Like, different people would kind of weigh in and give their opinions or whatever, and then the captain would decide what the crew would do. But in this episode, you know, three different people had moral quandaries that had ramifications. Like, Kira had to decide, and Cisco had to decide, and Tana had to decide, and it is because of that more complicated, and all of those decisions mattered, and that's why you get the complexity of the interactions between the characters that I love from DS9. Like, everyone's agenda kind of made sense, and just because the captain makes a decision doesn't mean that everything's decided. That scene, I mean, I might be jumping ahead in the in the podcast, but that scene between Kira and Odo was like one of my favorite discussions in the series. And I didn't the non-advice advice where he just kind of drew what she wanted out of her without telling her anything was, like you guys said, it's excellent, perfect.
I think that speaks to just the strength of the writing in this episode because
Absolutely.
it was all driven by pure character. And if you're going to say, this is so and so's episode, this is for sure a Kira episode. They're bringing her in hard here to show you what the central conflict of DS9 is going to be as they shape the next 7 seasons. It's going to be the fight for Bajor's independence, and how does Starfleet help manage that or hinder it in some cases, especially when you're dealing with a complicated character like Kira, like you said, Albie, to have somebody on as like a major character on a Star Trek show, like the new Star Trek show, have a background like this, a very violent background. Is she a freedom fighter? Is she a terrorist? I mean, the answer is yes, depending on who you talk to. So it's just it's a brave choice, and to have someone like I don't know what Nana had done before this. I felt like in the pilot, and even here a little bit, she comes out a little too hot. She's angry all the time, but I feel like the story here getting into that past and what they went through and sort of that shared experience between her and Tana gives it more of a grounding. She's not as grating as she was in Emissary. We understood in Emissary where she was coming from, but it's just like, we're here to help, back off just a little bit. This one, you get a much more nuanced approach to that, and I feel like this grounds Kira as one of my favorite Star Trek characters of all time. Like, this is the basis of that. I've seen this episode once, maybe, like 20 years ago, when I did my first and only complete DS9 rewatch, because I never saw the first few seasons in syndication. I didn't get on board with the show until like season 3. So seeing this again for the first time in many, many years, again, I'm just struck at, in hindsight, knowing how the series goes, in hindsight, how much they already had figured out about these characters and really nailed down. It's not like we see in season one of Next Gen where they're just trying shit out, and sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't, and there is a clear evolution of the characters and the interaction and the dynamic and the aesthetic and all of that. In this, they had it set immediately, and I don't know if that was courtesy or credit of the writers' room. I'm guessing. I would hope anyway that Catherine Powers is a regular season writer on this, because she took so many really complicated story threads here and wove them together expertly. I wonder how much of this is a collaboration and her name is just on it, or if she's just that good, you know?
She
Yeah.
wove them together like a masterful tailor.
There we go.
I think that they knew what they were doing, because the Deep Space Nine, I think in the writers' room they wrote the whole season basically, and then more like the Babylon 5, where they knew where they were going, whereas other Star Trek shows it's just what are we doing this week. And I like the idea of Deep Space Nine, because all these other Star Trek series that take place is episode of the week, planet of the week, but people have to live in this world, this universe that Star Trek is, and this is the show we get, and it's great. And what's good about this show is it shows that it's not like good guys versus bad guys, black and white. It's everybody's operating in a gray area, and you can see different things from different people's perspectives. And John, you mentioned that scene with Odo and Kira. I love that scene. And knowing what happens further on down the line, where we see the history of Odo and Kira before the Federation comes in, I think it even makes that more special. Just the confidence and that she has in Odo's opinion on things and seeks his counsel. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, fantastic scene. Renee really pulls it off in this, because Odo is still, we don't get much from him. We saw his contentious relationship with Quark at the beginning of this episode as one of the last holdouts from the old occupation, knowing that things are changing. And I feel like we get, again, a little bit more nuance from him here, but he's still just like badass. And I love when Sisko, he asked Sisko about the Duras sisters as they come on the station. And he's like, why don't we just lock them up? And Sisko's like, we don't do that. We can't. They haven't broken any laws. Like, he's like, wow, the Cardassians made things a lot easier. So it shows you Odo's more serious martial side, but then we have that scene that you discussed with Kira, and once again, it takes all of that and it kind of subverts it. Like, this is an actual, like, thinking, rational person, not just so let's just throw the book at him and throw away the key, you know. Hero moment of the episode, in my opinion, was when the Duras sisters challenge Odo about who are you to tell us to give up our weapons. He says, I'm the one giving you the choice.
That was a good line.
Good line.
Awesome
Badass line.
You mentioned Kira being a little shouty in this episode. My first rewatch was my thought was, she's very shouty. Why is she so shouty? Maybe they're writing it like for Michelle Forbes. I don't know how old the story was, but like, she seems to be very shouty in the early season. But rewatching it again, she was calm, and then the first person to shout was Captain Sisko, or Commander Sisko. And he basically jumped on her shouting, and then she shouted back, because that's what she's going to do. And where I thought she was too shouty, in the second watch today, I noticed her like arc, and she starts off very angry, like shouting back at Ben, and then she slowly, from scene to scene, like, and I know they film out of order, so wow, amazing actors on the show. Amazing casting to get all these top-notch actors that really can carry every scene. But if you follow her like storyline through the episode, she slowly calms down until there's like that breaking point with that scene with Odo where she's actually emotional and you see it in her eyes. So great job.
Do you think that this is the fact that she's so defensive to begin with is because she's feeling a little bit of shame for some of the stuff she had to do while she was under occupation when she was part of the resistance,
Mhm.
and not wanting to, I guess sell out would be a word for it. Tana Low, like Tana Loss. She respects the fact that he's still fighting for Bajor, but I feel like she's evolved beyond the brutal tactics that he's using. And I was a little confused when I first watched this because I'm just like, well, what is he? They're gone. They're off the planet. So he's actually just becoming like the Cardassians say. He's a terrorist and an assassin. He's a murderer. He just goes after them because he's got a score to settle.
Mhm.
So the fact that Sisko even thought about giving him asylum to me was shows you how evolved. You know, we want to find links like the basis in sort of that Roddenberry ethos. Cisco's command style, as displayed here, really does try to get that across because he seems to have the most measured response to all this. Is Kira's going one way, Odo's going another way. They're all trying to work at odds with what he thinks he needs to get done. He does find that middle path. He does find a solution. He's like, we'll give him temporary asylum. He even appeases the Cardassians. And he's going to want to go back to the planet. Once he gets back on that planet, I don't have any authority over him. I can't give him asylum anymore. You go after him there. Talk to the government. I'm giving you, even you, Gold Dinar, a way forward here because I realize that maybe this ain't the best guy. But I also have all these other factors that I have to consider in what I decide to do with him. He put himself in my path. Now I have to figure it out. I got to figure out a way out of this mess. And I mean, I think the only thing that makes this, I wouldn't say, it's not a weakness. It's not a weakness, but I think it would have been a little bit better if Tanalos had been even a scooch more sympathetic. I felt for Kira because she was obviously being manipulated by this guy. He's got his agenda, and anybody standing on the outside looking in could see the fact that he's playing her. So,
Well, because of the music.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like you from at the very first scene you don't know. You don't know. He's just a guy who he's getting chased, he's getting shot at. We know that he's an enemy of the Cardassians, and it would make sense that they're shooting at him if they like on sight basically. He goes and first question Cisco asks, okay, so but you're done with that, right? Because there's a peace treaty and we're not no more violence. Like no. It's like I'm done with the war. Like he asked him, and and that's why Cisco is like you know decides to grant asylum basically because he said he forswore the Kanma.
do you think that Cisco believed him?
I think it was believable enough. I don't think he didn't have a reason to doubt necessarily, and his first officer vouched for him. So, like you said, it was a measured response. It was not only is this, you know, not only am I giving this guy the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also showing faith in my first officer, with whom I need to build trust. To answer your earlier question about Kira feeling some shame about what she had to do, I think that's part of it. I think there was a lot going on. I also think that there was not validation, but like connect because finally having someone else there who gets it, who went through what she went through, and see we're not all terrorists. Like I can make a change, he can make a change. Like because that was her whole thing. It's like if we're going to rebuild Bajor, we're going to need to pull all of these fragmented, far wing factions back in together. Like we've got to rebuild this community, and she's like a I don't know. She saw in him her. She saw herself in him, and I think that's part of why she was fighting so hard for him, because like she also kind of, and we know, from further in the series, that she's also kind of seeking redemption for what she had to do, and like to be going through that with someone else would, eases the burden a little bit.
Well, I also think that's a brilliant observation. The redemption for him equals redemption for her.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why she's fighting so hard to insist that people like him have a place in the new order of things. Because if he doesn't have a place in that order, then what right does she have to be there? And the fact that it would be so interesting to see how this provisional government was formed, and how they picked, of all people, Kira to be the liaison on DS9. I don't know that or I don't remember if they went into it especially much in the pilot. John, did they go into that at all? Did she give any lip
No,
service? No, it was just
no,
that's me, and that's what I'm doing here.
yeah, they didn't say how she was chosen. They talked about, you know, she thinks the provisional government are idiots. She understands the usefulness of the Federation, but she doesn't trust them
Hmm.
because, and so basically, I mean, we've said it five different ways, but Tana's just like the flip side of the coin from Kira. Like
Hmm.
neither of them necessarily trust the Federation, but Kira sees the point of them, and he doesn't.
Hmm.
He's like, we just he doesn't see them as any different from the Cardassians. They're just the latest set of occupiers.
Yeah.
We fought to free our land. Why are we inviting more people to run it?
Right.
I did not miss what you were talking about, Chris, until you mentioned it. But yeah, they could have threw in like one line, like that he lost a child or he lost a spouse or something to make him more sympathetic.
Yeah, I don't want there to be a sacrificial lamb to make him more sympathetic. I always
Okay,
think
well,
See,
that
I don't.
that's like a
what do you
cheap
think would be
trick.
good?
I
Why?
don't know,
I don't.
just
For
to
his
give
story,
him, to make him a little bit less of like a raving zealot,
right?
quite frankly.
Well, I feel like he was. I feel like he was sympathetic enough. Like, but he has fought his whole life,
But we don't know
and
why.
well, we do. They were arguing. They fought. He fought for freedom. He fought to return Bajor to Bajorans, and in his mind, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Hmm.
So for him, the fight's not over because Bajor's not in charge.
Yeah, but you necessarily have to go out and find people to murder to
Hmm.
No,
advance your
but
cause.
his plan wasn't that. His plan was to close the
No,
wormhole.
his plan wasn't that this time.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So what I'm saying is like I'm not saying that they should have painted him as a more sympathetic character. I just wish that maybe some of the portrayals of him could have had some more nuance, because we did get so much nuance in this episode.
I can see that.
He stands out as the obvious villain, almost mustache twirly.
Hmm.
So
Well, when he looked into the camera and the music cue hit, you know,
when he broke the fourth wall, he spiked the
a
camera.
little bit when he's not laying on the table.
Right.
I think what this episode's about and what they do very well is it's about what's the difference between a terrorist and a freedom fighter, and is there a difference?
Hmm.
Yeah, and again, it depends on your point of view.
And
Yeah,
depends on who wins.
and
Or
also what it's about is
Mhm.
when is the fight over?
Yeah,
And that's a big question. I mean, there's a lot of people today on this planet fighting wars that started generations before them. When is the fight over?
yeah. I mean, DS9 has always paralleled the problems in the Middle East, and those problems now are just at a fever pitch. They're worse than they've ever been for the Israelis and the Palestinians. And DS9, I always felt, was an obvious allegory for that, obvious allegory for Nazi occupation during World
Hmm.
War II. So it does dig into a lot of very troubling Earth history and contemporary issues. So it's a perfect vehicle for sci-fi, like doing what sci-fi is supposed to do.
Hmm.
And just watching it tonight, it's just it's still so freaking relevant. And maybe because we haven't solved any of those problems that it was exploring back then, they've just gotten worse.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we're having entire protests on college campuses about who's the terrorist, who's the freedom fighter, and yeah, it's just more relevant than ever. So that's brilliant as well. Unfortunate, but still brilliant. So
And
again,
is there an answer? When will it end? How will it end? How can it end? Will it? Is it able to end?
all we are saying is give peace a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really like John Mulaney.
I want to say they did really well, Deep Space Nine, with the whole terrorism thing. The only show that I can think maybe it did as well or better was the Ronald D. Moore version of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I felt that Battlestar could take all the gloves off, though. It could just be naked and ugly and really grimdark. And it was good on the show, but having done that rewatch recently, the seams on that did start to show a little bit. And there were always it had certain waves that it went through, but after a while I felt like, okay, we're exploring this again. Didn't we just do this last season? And I guess had it been, 5 years between seasons like it used to be, it wouldn't have been as apparent. I don't know that DS9 ever fell into that trap. So, I mean, thankfully. But who knows? If we did, again, a straight rewatch, we might notice the same sort of rhythmic ebb and flow.
The thing that stands out to me is the on Battlestar is where we start off with the main characters of the show we're watching, and we're on that side, and what is it, season 3 or 4, wherever it is, there's suicide bombers, and you're understanding where they're coming from, which blew my mind because I never thought I could understand that.
Yeah, it's thorny. It's thorny stuff, and we're going to get more of that. I mean, and a lot of it's going to be coming from Bajorans who aren't able to move on from the past, or who want to greedily be leaders in the new order, so to speak. And when we talk about this, it's going to become readily apparent in what is considered like widely one of the best episodes of Star Trek of all time, the one with the Cardassian. Why am I blanking on the name, Albie? It's like one of the best first season
I know
episodes.
what you're talking about, but
In Deep Space Nine or
yeah,
Next Gen?
DS9.
he turns himself in. That guy.
With the guy.
Oh
who's supposed to walk
yeah, where he's
yeah.
on the planet with the field, working in the fields and stuff.
They're they're
No.
everybody. No, it's not that one. Everybody
that one?
watching is yelling at me now.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. So
That's
anyway,
pretty soon. Season
That's
2
where I
maybe.
took my time.
yeah. So it comes because if you can research it, John, I can't.
I can, sure. Give me some.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
But also when you look at Kai Wynn, I mean,
Hate
was
her.
there ever a better villain?
You know what? That's how you know it's an awesome villain. You just say her name and like, ugh. I was like, hate her.
Hate her.
Instant disgust.
It's so good.
So the Bajorans aren't painted as the eternal victims here, is what I'm saying. And in that episode that John's going to give us the name of any second now.
No pressure.
Oh, the guest actor in that episode is amazing.
They hammer that home as well. I mean, even though they are the victims, so to speak, they're not always sympathetic. Duet. Yeah, one of the greatest episodes of Star Trek ever written. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, cementing Kira as the biggest badass in Star Trek since Kirk. I mean, I love Kira beyond reason. I think that it's just such a good character. So I'm glad that we got to see a lot of this come through and help set the tone for DS9. As I was saying before, really making a direct departure from a lot of the next gen feeling. That being said, we're still getting next gen links here. Enter the Duras sisters. Is this necessary? Do we need this to say, I know them, and now they're on this new thing? I like them in that. Maybe I'll like them in this, and I'll like this because of them.
That if there was one misstep or bump, that might have been it, because they didn't need it. They might have needed it for the preview. Next week, Lorsa and Bator show up on Deep Space Nine, which makes sense on the third episode after you finish watching the Emissary 1 and 2, and then you see the preview for Lorsa and Bator, you're like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And then once you do it a couple times, it's going to become a habit.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is the third episode, so it's still just barely not the pilot. I was fine with it, and I actually forgotten because I hadn't watched it in forever either. And I was like, oh wait, weren't they on the next one? Yeah, but it didn't. They needed some Klingons, so why not get some Klingons that you know?
And well, if I see a preview with boob windows, I'm going to watch next week.
I did. You were like, there were two sisters. I'm like, were there two sisters?
Yeah.
I counted 4. But yeah,
They did great. It was just, compared to the rest of the Deep Space Nine cast, it's, lacks a little bit.
Well, I would say that if we're doing the thing that bumped me, it was especially since it was so early in the episode, just Bashir's just like completely freaking out and Garak sitting down next to him. He's like, what? I'm like, you're a grown man. I'm like, I get that he's like, that you're kind of freaked out by this, but like, you're a grown man and a Starfleet officer. Can you just compose yourself a little bit? He's like, just, dude,
he was the sheltered rich kid, and he's also trying to pretend he's not as good as he is.
I guess.
So,
I think, you know what, you were saying that like everybody's kind of fully formed. I feel like that's the one character that maybe they hadn't figured out what they're doing with him yet. And I don't know if that was an actor thing or a writing thing.
I think it fits in. I think it fits in with what they had originally intended Bashir to be, which is sort of wide-eyed wonder, like frontier medicine.
Medicine.
He's like full of himself because he's out here doing like this dangerous, noble thing, and he's really out of his depth. So it shows, if anything, that he's green. Mm-hmm. So
right,
so I get
and again,
it.
I'm not saying it was like bad, but if we're picking one thing that kind of stood out to me as the least polished, that it's that.
Yeah, could it have been better? Of course,
he seemed to be playing younger than he was, a tad.
Right, and less intelligent than we know he is.
But we don't find that out later. So
right, exactly. So that's a retcon anyway.
It could be a retcon, or they could have planned it.
Get back to the next gen thing. If you look on Memory Alpha, for some reason they have a subtitle of this right up top where it says Arc: Worf versus Duras, episode 6 of 9. So I guess if you're going to watch the entire Worf versus the Duras family saga, this is part of it. So
cool.
I guess also we would have to go back and figure out when this episode aired in conjunction with where they were in the TNG timeline.
Was it season 5 or 6, something like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Tell us in the comments down below what was happening concurrently on Next Gen.
I would put this episode up against any Next Gen episode that was being shown at that time, and say this is better.
Well, is it better in retrospect, or do you think that, you were kind of young, and I know that you love everything Star Trek, but
I was 15, I think 16 when it came out.
But I would say that the people who came out saying that DS9 is too different sort of had a point. It really was. It was almost like we dare you to watch this. Yeah, this is Star Trek, and we're in your face about it because look at all the stuff that's going down here. It's not that sanitized Space Hilton that you all love so much. So I can see sort of both sides of the episode. You know where I firmly stand on that.
It's hard not to watch this episode not thinking of the whole series.
Right. And I just want to give the fans that had a very hard time accepting DS9, and many who still do,
Linda,
I want to give them their due. Linda, now she'd come around. She's going to listen to us talk about it. She's going to say, you know what? I'm going to watch it because Chris and Albie and the beautiful John Irons recommended it.
Beautiful John Irons.
So I think Linda we can convert.
In the chat, Fandom Entanglement says midway through TNG season 6, I think.
Right.
They also previously commented they agreed with our assessment that Coco was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. That's Damon Sugamelli of the
Sugi
Sliders podcast. So
Serenity and I are going to guest in an upcoming episode of the Sliders podcast. So check that out.
I loved our. I think we were on fire. On our
that was a great one,
guys. Listen to that. Let's go back and listen to that, or watch it on the YouTubes. Albie and I feel like we were on all cylinders for some reason. We were just good that night. If I don't say so myself.
That was the episode Serenity watched, getting ready to guest on it, and she laughed her ass off the whole time. So,
Yeah, I think so. If you like us cutting up, go over there and see how we did it. We did it pretty good.
We did it really good. So we'll link that in the show. And we got a lot to talk about after the break. I want to get more into Bashir and Garak. We got to talk
yeah.
about the meet cute between
Yeah.
Garak and Bashir
Introduction of
what we
Garak.
thought about that. So we got a lot more. So we'll be right back after the break talking about past prologue. All right. Anybody need to go pee?
You mind if I'm just gonna
grab a
grab
drink?
a glass of water.
All right. Then, John, you're elected to Vamp live on our YouTube
Oh
channel.
yeah, I was about
Anything
to
you
say,
wanna
wait, aren't you live? Like, can you
Yep.
just leave?
Yep. Just for 5 minutes, but you
Leave
can
live?
stay on, or you can go leave, or you can entertain.
I mean,
people
if you guys are
wherever you
leaving,
go.
I'm definitely leaving. Like, yeah. Da, 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 da. You guys can watch my door. No, I'm just kidding. I'm turning off the camera. I'll be right back. You know what? If any of you guys are still watching, it occurred to me. I do have a book full of short poetry. So here's what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm going to see if I can just roll a die. You know, roll a 100 die somehow, and I got 100 poems in this book.
Read some for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna.
For some reason, I'm not getting the live chat. So if you guys can read the chat as we go, if there
I
is
can,
any.
I can see
I got
live
the one
chat.
from John, but that's all I got.
D20, D10, D100. All right, so I'm going to roll.
I did not get Zoogie. I did not get Soogie's live chat for some reason.
I'm gonna roll a D100, and I'll choose that number poem.
Oh, okay. Wow, I
71.
got back just in time.
71. Okay, so they are broken down into categories. Your mama's so mean, your mama's so dumb, your mama's so big, blah, 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 blah. 71 is in strict, and they all come with beautiful illustrations. Courtesy your boy, John Irons.
Oh, you made the
Oh,
illustrations?
beautiful, John Irons. Did you put that you were beautiful in the book?
No.
I want to read a book. John Irons, so beautiful.
See, this is like this is one of the great ones. I'm gonna go.
Right, they're all great ones.
It's
Don't
fine.
you sell yourself short.
It's fine. I've made a commitment. I'm gonna stick to it. Your mama's so strict. From grounding to be free, first solve these riddles 3. It's not great. I'm gonna roll again.
I can tell you this: that is a haiku I never, ever, ever would have come up with
Random as hell.
in any
4.
universe.
Okay, not bad. Your mama's so mean. Your mama's so mean. Her school fundraiser idea What's Hunger Games Day? Do one more.
So I order it, but I send it to your address, and then you send it to me. Or do I
Sure.
meet you in real life? I don't know. That's quite a trip.
Oh, 26.
I'm not flying for the foreseeable future. So
Your mama's so big. Your mama's so big. When Pluto stopped being a planet, she filled in. 100 haiku about your mama.
and we're back. John entertaining us with Yo Mama So Haikus. What's the book title again?
1700 Esoteric Syllables about your mama.
Link below in the repeat, and I will definitely get that. I'm excited. I like to have books of my friends.
Congratulations,
Like,
Sean.
I know that guy.
Good job.
Thank you. So I gotta tell you, like in the one that you saw, they got illustration on one page and poem with like little Japanese translation of a prominent word or an idea in here. But this actually is they messed up on the printing because there should be a red border around all of this. Like I did a whole design for every page, but
Graphic designer, you are, yes.
I'm a graphic designer. Even though it was correct on the preview, like check to make sure this is right. Even though it looked right there, it didn't print because according to them, InDesign changed the software, whatever, so it appeared digitally on another layer, so it didn't print out. But that problem has been solved.
Yay.
Should have been solved. So if you order, this is going to come out in a couple of days, right? So by the time this episode comes out, if you order, you should get the corrected version. And if you already have a book that doesn't have that on there, I can also give you like the 1-800. We can put that in the link. So the 1-800 number or the link to customer service. Like, hey, send me a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be the correct one.
Send me the good one.
Get two. That's cool.
If the
So it
jokes
wasn't
are
like a
bad,
2-color,
Amazon
3-color
can't help
thing.
you.
How many colors does it cost for each color? Like extra when you're
No,
getting-
it's just it's just color. We considered doing it in black and white, and that's the only, because all of the illustrations are in black and white. The only color is like the red about them. I was like, we don't, if it's cheaper to print it. He's like, no, I like the color, and he's right, it looks better with the color, which you can imagine when they didn't actually print on the book, but.
Is this the only book about Yo Mama jokes
It
and
is-
haikus and stuff?
It is not. It is as far as we know
Haikus.
the only haiku Yo Mama joke book.
Okay.
There are joke books, there are Yo Mama joke books, and there are haiku books. But
So you are the number one selling,
we are the world's best selling Yo Mama haiku joke book.
and we are the world's second best Star Trek podcast right here. So that's it. You're in good company.
Yeah.
And we're in good company. That's great. Wow. So speaking of different things, our sponsor for this episode is reductivearts.com. Chris, tell them a little bit about it.
Productivearts.com. Are you a podcaster? Do you love getting on mic and chatting with the beautiful John Irons like I do?
The
It
beautiful
is
John Irons.
a special type of
guys.
thrill to be able to do these kinds of things. However, in order to get it out to the masses, to the fans of the beautiful John Irons, you have to sit through grueling hours of editing and polishing,
Life
and
draining.
levelating, and staying up late at night because you have a day job and you have to get this done because you're committed. You're a committed podcaster and you want the best.
Ignoring your
fans.
family.
Ignoring your family. For
Getting
the sake of-
divorced
for
because
the
you edited
sake-
too much.
for the sake of your art. Well, you don't have to do that anymore because you now have access to Reductive Arts. Reductive Arts will take all of the burdensome, dirty bits of the making the sausage that is your podcast and take it all over for you. They will do everything that you need to make your podcast the best podcast on the block. And
Albie, tell them where they can find Reductive Arts. And
Yeah,
I
whether you
understand that Reductive Arts is having some kind of
they gave us a
sale?
affiliate
Some
link
kind of
discount
promo?
code. Yeah.
Promo, yes.
So whether you're just starting out or you've got an established show, whether it's video, audio, or both, they can help. It's reductivearts.com. And if you use our promotional code, which is Trexploration5, you get 5% off the initial startup package.
Wow, that's a
We
good
also get-
deal.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. So, you know.
When I launch my own radio refinishing YouTube channel, I know who I'm
Reductive
going
Arts.
to be hiring. I wonder if I can get that 5% discount.
I'm sure you can. I think you know people. You know people that know people.
I mean, I'm Trexploration.
Yeah.
So,
Trexploration. Yeah. Trexploration 5. Tell them Chris sent you. Tell them John Iron sent you.
I am also a part-time employee of Reductive Arts as an editor. So I'll give you 5%. Albie gives you 5%. So you get like 10% off, Chris.
Yeah, if you add it all up, I mean, it's a great deal.
That's just science.
All the promo codes. The beautiful John Irons 5.
Reductive Arts is like, how are we out of
Reductive
business?
Arts.
We've reduced ourselves to nothing.
Yeah, they'll probably be like, no, only one discount at a time. But yeah, it's a great group of people, and they'll make you sound and look your best. So that's reductivearts.com, and that is a real ad, not like some of our other ads. So check it out.
No.
If you ever wanted to be a micro celebrity like the beautiful John Irons and Christopher D. Philippus.
We're only here because of the tenacity and talent of Albert Mark Burge, who started it all.
Just
Thank
plain
you,
Albie. Just plain Albie.
No.
Plain and simple, Albie.
A lot of people get that wrong. Like I see, like when I'm credited, it'll say Albert Albie Burge or Albert Mark Albie Burge, and I'm like, no, my online name is Albie. And when I have to sign checks and stuff, it's the other one.
I didn't know
Like
that. So
Cher.
you just you like your Prince, your Madonna, your Cher.
Yeah, Madonna, Cher, Albie. But people know me by many names. But I'm just plain simple Albie.
And I'm
Mr. Scratch, Beelzebub. Go see Sinners.
Exactly. I want to. I can't wait. I was spoiled a little bit, but not much. I was like, la 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 la.
Yeah.
But the dance scene got me, or the musical scene. So I'll go.
Yes, my yes is a simple, non-spoilery answer that still leaves a whole lot out.
Yeah, and like I said, it is available digitally, but I'm going to go see it in the theater. So
All right,
should.
so I guess
It's-
this podcast also brought to you by Sinners, the movie.
You should see it too, Chris. It's really good.
Oh, I
You'll
plan
enjoy
to. It's still at the theater right up the block. You can see it for like
this
$5.
weekend, I'm going to see Mission Impossible in IMAX, and maybe I'll stick around and see Sinners that night. If not, I'll go a different night. But I got the unlimited pass. So
Speaking of spies, speaking of thrilling spies,
Oh, nice.
Chris getting us back on track.
he's just a plain, simple tailor.
Man,
Not-
did they get lucky, or was it just an amazing casting director that they got Andrew Robinson for Garak?
Yeah, Andy Robinson just another just comes in and owns. I was reading the like a synopsis on Memory Alpha, and Andy said that when he came in, he thought the script was written so well that the second he got the lines down, the character just came to life automatically because it was all there on the page. He didn't have to figure out how to play it. He didn't have to like force it through. He said it was there right from the beginning. And the only thing that I think he brought to it, and this is one of the most famous things that happened on What We Left Behind, was, and you can see it now. Now you can't unsee it.
Right.
He really wasn't interested in Bashir as an asset, even though I think Garak is always looking for assets that he can train. He just wanted to, have sex with him.
Yeah. Plain and simple.
Yep.
And you can totally see it. Like when I was watching like this shoulder massage thing going
Yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah.
It's like now that he mentions it, how could we not have seen that before? Maybe that's something that Trek conditions us to not look for.
Well,
So-
and you were talking about a different kind of show. Like Garak is there's not another character at least not for a while that's like Garak. That's so scenery chewing. That's a regular character, and just the mixture of glee and menace that is Garak. Everyone else is even the kind of outlandish characters You know, like lore is not Garak. Like there's not another because he's not quite a villain. He's definitely not a hero. He's just it's he's such a unique persona that I think is like you see characters more like that. I guess I don't know. Maybe not to lower decks. It's like can you think of another Garak like character? Because I can think of characters that are like Data or Spock or the characters that are like
Not at all. Not even in Trek or in anything else I've seen. I think it's a singular character type. I don't know.
I'm sure that there are other ones. I've never really considered that question, John, inside Trek or out, because when I think of Garak, I just think,
Garak.
yeah, he's singular in the sense that the way Andy plays him is so iconic
Yeah.
that you don't need to say, oh, and like, I'm sorry, when Next Gen came out, I'm like, okay, so Data's the Spock.
Right.
And then Crusher didn't work out, so they got the old
Yeah.
the old mean one, so she's the
Yeah.
McCoy.
Very one-to-one with
Riker's the Kirk.
Yeah.
You know, so there's been a long history of that in
Yeah, and you
Trek.
can do that. You can do that. Okay, so Odo's the Spock, and you know, well, I mean, to a degree, like you know, he's
Yeah,
not quite human.
he's the odd man out.
Yeah,
He's
not
the
quite
man
human,
alone.
but
Kira's the Kirk for sure.
yeah, Kira's the Kirk. Yeah,
Garrick's his own thing.
Garak is his own thing.
Yeah. So, it also just strikes me as because they're so iconic in our minds, like Dukat and Garak, even though we don't see Dukat for a little while as a regular. And then you look at the total episode count that they were in, and you're like, that's it? I think
Yeah.
like it wasn't Andy. He was in something like what 20 episodes out of like the 100 and whatever.
Yeah, teens maybe even.
Yeah, even teens, you know, and the same thing with Mark as Ducat, and it's just like, how can that be? You know, because they seem to be so fundamental to the fabric of this reality, and it shows you how much they were able to give you with just a very little bit. And again, it's the actors and it's the writing. So I know that we're kind of gushing about this, but Garak, above all, is
Deservedly
one of,
so.
yeah, one of the highlights of DS9. So
Like it's hard for me to pick favorite characters on Deep Space Nine because everyone is so good, but like he's one that comes to mind, like instantly, like Garak. I wish I would have pulled out. I have a 12-inch fashion doll of Garak.
please don't pull out 12-inch.
I was,
I can't pull out 12-inch anything other than fashion dolls.
and we're live.
And we're live. I love how the LGBTQIA plus community has embraced Garak and the whole friend of Garak thing. I love that with the rainbows and the T-shirts and the stickers and the bumper stickers. And anytime I see that, I love that because I'm not a friend of Garak, but I'm a friend of many friends of Garak. So
Well, I can tell
really
you this: I
appreciate
like Garak so much. You know that I don't usually I receive them as gifts, but I don't usually, until I got my ball caps, seek out like Trek themed apparel. It's just not something that I wear normally. But I was looking for, and I don't know, I think you can find it. I just wanted a T-shirt that had the symbol for the Obsidian Order on it. Because the Garak
cut.
is so badass. I think there was one out there that I was able to find, but it looked kind of jank. Maybe John can design one, and we can.
He can design it. I got a Cricket, so between the two of us, you can have a custom-made shirt.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know what a Cricket is. Is that like an iron-on thing?
It's a plotter with a blade on it that cuts out vinyl, so you can use the vinyl to apply to the shirt or as a stencil to paint on the shirt.
I see.
We should talk because I have quite a few T-shirt designs that I've never
Yeah.
done anything with.
Maybe we can make that part of something.
Yeah,
It's great in this episode. And I think one of the thumbnails I made for this episode we're talking about now is a meet cute. It was their meet cute.
Yeah, I mean, did you get all When Harry Met Sally vibes?
Little bit, knowing what I know and where versions of them end up. It's kind of nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is true. Lower Decks does kind of bring it full circle.
Well, now I'm sad. So if Garak's only in a something teen episodes, it'll be a while before we see him again. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like he's on every show. I feel like
It seems like it, right? He's omnipresent.
You know, I mean, it's not quite Nog, but I think he's on more than Rom. Although Ron was on quite a bit in the later seasons.
Such a huge ensemble in this show. They never shied away from adding people that were good.
I think that was the
Tell
other
good
thing
stories.
that sort of stood out in this. The fact that they used almost the entire ensemble, Dax who in this episode, but
Well, no Quark either.
for the most part, they used the ensemble to its greatest effect. Again, right from the beginning. It's not like they're finding their footing like they did in the first season of TNG before they found that sweet spot. Maybe that's, again, speaks to what you were talking about, Albie. They'd learned how to do it. But I still think that every first season of every show is its own unique growing pains period for that show. And DS9 has so far exhibited very little of that.
Zero. I mean, the only thing I can think of is Kira's hair changed, which freaked me out when I first watched the series. 'Cause I got used to that, like Karen Bob almost, but different. But then it went straight trimmed up. I like both,
I liked it.
but now that I see the in Emissary, it just seems weird with her with longer hair because I'm so used to what she looks like now.
According to AI, Garak appears in 37 episodes.
Wow,
37.
but that could be totally wrong.
Could
AI
be.
is always lying to me about everything.
AI.
You're gonna make me look two places? Ugh.
No, I'm sure it's probably right. I mean, all the Google searches now are AI summaries, so they're just
Yeah.
scraping what they found on the internet.
Yeah, the beautiful John Irons is correct.
So yeah, so actually that's pretty good. I would say that that's almost as probably as much as Jeffrey gets in later episodes, and that'll all come in as well. But I mean, just speaking to that ensemble, we had so many great character bits. We already discussed the Odo Kira thing, but there's just this one bit I think that does more to expand Miles's character than anything that ever got done for him on all the seasons of Next Gen that he was on. It's just that conversation he has with Sisko. You've never fought the Cardassians before, have you? Well, let me just tell you, maybe you don't want to be captured by them. It's like, wait a minute.
Any man, you wouldn't turn him over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your worst
what-
enemy.
Yeah, what goes on there, Miles? Like, how come we never got any kind of hint of this?
Well, I think that touches upon that one episode where he's explains Miles explains and TNG explains the way he feels about Cardassians and why, because of the rogue captain, his ex-captain. What's that episode called, John? Do
Oh,
you
I
know?
forgot about that episode.
Yeah, and it's
come on.
very, for someone to be, at least on TNG, have that hatred towards just a people in general and what he went through. He still carries that over here, which is a great idea to have O'Brien on Deep Space Nine because of that, because they're dealing with the Cardassians all the time.
Yeah, I forgot all about that episode. So maybe I misspoke.
That's a great
there.
episode.
Maybe they did give him some more to do in TNG than I recall. But I guess maybe because this is as much column show as anybody else's show, that it's just nice to have, again, a lot of that stuff built in right there. And it's just, I want to say it's throwaway, but it's not a throwaway line. It's a very meaningful scene. It's just very brief. And it just shows you how much they can do with very little, and keep these things moving and build all of these threads that they're eventually going to start weaving together in such interesting ways. Again, you can just see the genesis of everything, like the foundations being laid.
Give me the secret of Genesis.
That episode will be The Wounded. I
The
believe.
Wounded, yes. So there you go. Great episode to check out.
Got the least Star Trek fan looking up Star Trek. Man.
So if
Mention that.
you hadn't seen The Wounded before this, it's kind of almost a throwaway line. But if you had seen it, then you know exactly what Miles is talking about. And it's one of those things where he just for like less than a minute, gives his opinion to Sisko. And I think the great part about this episode, another great part about this episode, is Avery's performance, because he could have been, I'm going to say it again, Genevieve Bejeweled, or I can't say it right. Genevieve Bejeweled. Did I say it right? Could have been like her. Could have been like Picard. Could have been like, well, I guess not Kate Mulgrew yet, but he did his own thing where he was, I think, more human, less stoic, and just dealing with everything getting thrown at him at once. And he's got these facial expressions to where like you're understanding what he's feeling and what he's doing at the time, and he's just managing everything he can because everybody's coming to him at the same time when he's trying to make those decisions. And he just seemed more human than any other captain thus far
All right, I'll give you
in that episode.
Yeah, he's more of a brawler. He's more of a he's more. I made this distinction on the Infinite Potato Chat, right, John? A few weeks ago, we were talking about because I was talking about Archer because I've been watching Enterprise, and I'm having
Oh,
such a
I wasn't on that one.
I was having such a tough time like figuring out who Archer is. He just got Bakula, and I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, Kirk was always the most clever guy in the room. He always had a plan up his sleeve, and Picard was always
Corbomite.
Picard was always the most intelligent guy in the room. And with his love of exploring, he was all about exploring. Sisko is the most dogged guy in the room. And he is just, he's dedication, he's family, he is just being dependable, like just being like the core of things. And you get that quite a bit here because he's forced to, and he handles it all very well, to appease everybody, and he finds that way through. He threads it. That being said, I don't know if we discussed this when we saw Emissary. I find that Avery Brooks is Sisko is my favorite captain after Kirk. I mean, I love Kirk. I can't not. But Avery as an actor to me is wildly uneven. There are some scenes where he is just screamingly awful, and there are some scenes where he's so freaking good, it just sends a chill down my spine. And I feel like in this one, we kind of see hints of some of the stuff, some of the acting choices that he makes that can bump me occasionally. But I think that we get mainly like the good the good Avery in this one. Maybe not the best Avery in this one, but I feel like everything Sisko did here was believable. Whereas I think in in Emissary, that scene on the beach was just so dumb.
Yow!
You know, yow! And it's just like,
Agreed.
you know,
Although if I saw Jennifer, whoa, I might make that sound too.
yeah, but it's just like I said. So sometimes he makes choices, and I respect the fact that all the directors that worked with him and all the showrunners,
They just let him go.
yeah, they let him go. They leaned into it. They just leaned because you never know where the great stuff's going to come from. So okay, so we get a couple of scenes where you're just like, okay, Avery, what are you doing here? All right, we'll get past it because we love Sisko and we love you. So that you can get like to those freaking badass Sisko scenes.
I might be looking back with rose-colored glasses, but I can't think of any time his acting really bumped me. But
We'll discuss it.
I
There
think
we go.
it's more of a feature than a bug. His acting, I think it makes him one of the most three-dimensional captains in any Star Trek.
That lack of polish.
Archival.
And we go full circle. That's the end of the show, folks.
That's why he has his own day, the Sisko Day,
Yeah. So
May 22nd every year.
I don't know if this counts as meta or not, but so I'm watching the episode, and there are a lot of scenes where the two characters are like really close to each other, like face to face having a conversation, like deep in the personal space. And so I took note. All right, so Sisko and Odo have a scene like that. Garak and Bashir have a scene like that. Kira and Sisko have a scene like that.
Yeah.
And it, it's not every, but again, like looking at it from a filmmaking point of view, there's never a scene between Tana and Kira where they're face to face like that. Like they're both facing the same direction, or they're like far
with the
apart.
blocking, you mean?
The blocking, right?
Okay.
And so I was looking at it as a about the show kind of thing, and then I was like, okay, well maybe this is just a thing in the future. Like people need 3 feet of personal space to be comfortable. Maybe it's not like that in the future. Maybe like people can be comfortable at 8 inches. Like because
I can't be comfortable at 8 inches either.
is this part of a is this part of a collective future where there is there's less a sense of competition and less a sense of personal space, if it is in fact a more communal society where we do kind of share everything? It's not so weird to have somebody in your space.
I've heard this before about the blocking, and it started with TNG, I believe, is that everybody is so close to everyone all the time because of the 4x3 frame.
Mm-hmm.
They have to fit all the characters in that square.
Yeah,
So-
but they can pull the camera back. Like,
And if they did, they'd all be standing in a huddle, and you'd be like, that's kind of weird.
yeah, I
So,
guess.
John, though, I think that maybe you touched upon something that it was a visual thing that Clove Winrick, Rick, our good friend Rick,
Rich.
Vinrick,
Vinrick.
Who?
where you're saying the characters,
director.
you mentioned
Oh.
so many scenes where the characters are facing each other very closely,
Mm-hmm.
but then all the scenes between Tana and Kira, they seem to be facing in different directions, and maybe that was a subtle artistic way of saying
Yeah.
these two are estranged. They can't see eye to eye anymore. Whereas Sisko and Kira, even though they're fighting Ken, Garak and Bashir, even though it's scary for Bashir, they can see eye to eye. That kind of thing. Maybe it's an artistic choice to give a subtle feel.
I hope that's true. Because I wrote it down feeling smart. So thank you for validating me.
I'm going to rewatch that. And it might also be showing about like the camaraderie amongst the our main cast as a crew versus an outsider coming in and being unsure about them.
And it's funny when you talk about, and I know this is getting really meta, and we're going to the end of the series and everything, but you think about, like you said, John, when it comes to like Garak, he ain't a hero, but he certainly ain't a villain, and you don't know where he lies. But I think as the shows go on and you get to know these characters, and maybe it's just fed washing them to make it better for the show, but I feel like a lot of them wind up being better for the influence of the Federation in their lives, seeing a different way, because when the Federation comes on to DS9, both Odo and Quark are like, oh, who are these jokers? What do they think they're going to accomplish here? And same thing, Garak is just playing all the angles, just trying to figure out for the Obsidian Order, how he can turn all of it to the use of the Cardassian Secret Service and play all the factions against one another. Whereas the shows go on, these characters evolve past that, more of a Federation point of view. They're not like dyed in the wool. Like a Ferengi will never be about a no money economy.
See, I was gonna say,
Well, maybe Rom was. I don't know.
I was gonna yes and I'm gonna yes and that, because like, yeah, Kira sees the benefits of the Federation, and even Quark and Odo see the benefits of the Federation, but also, Sisko gets his hands dirty.
Well, that's true.
Like it's about the interaction of all of them kind of learning and kind of growing beyond wherever they started, and seeing the other point of view, and like, okay, I'm not going that far, but I can see the benefits of this. It's kind of like the buffet. Like I'll take this part of like where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now I'm
like,
hungry.
I'm trying to think of a good like metallurgic alloy metaphor, but like,
you let me know when you come up with that.
It's not gonna happen. I don't have
I was
any.
gonna say maybe like pizza toppings. How about that?
Sure.
How about that? I mean, just stick with the food. Make Albie even more hungry.
More hungry. Order late night.
I know
delivery.
that's a good point though, because it affects Sisko just as much as it affects them. It affects Bashir in many ways as much as it affects.
Yeah, that's true. He gets more hardened, and Odo softens. No pun intended. No changeling pun intended.
Let's talk about Odo. How do you think about Odo being a tiny as a mouse and then as big as an Odo? Is he hollow normally? How did that work?
I like when because he did it in the pilot.
Yeah.
He's like a bag or something. He's,
Yeah.
he's something that clearly does not have
Mhm.
an Odo amount of mass.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, who knows how this works? But they said that it works, so I'm fine with it. I don't need the scientific explanation
Mhm.
of how a changeling does a changeling thing.
Right. But my headcanon for Changeling is that they are so utterly alien. They're not humanoid at all. You can't think of them in three-dimensional space. For all we know, they have access to a pocket dimension where they can shift
Ah.
their mass when they're because it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, it
So
goes to the
maybe
Great
it's
Leap.
just in a place that it's all still there. We just can't see it.
And there's also what Wayne Zelinsky discovered, to where you can just remove some of the empty space in between the
Yeah,
protons and
I was gonna say
neutrons and
if
stuff.
Ant-Man can do it, Odo
Yeah,
can
there
do
you go.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking though, like when he's a tray of like martini glasses, why doesn't it weigh 210 pounds like Renee does? That's all. So you gotta accommodate the mass is still there, so the weight is still gonna be there, and you
Oh,
can't have
no.
Esri as a cocktail waitress with a teeny little martini tray and one
The-
martini, and it turns into Odo,
The
and she's just
station-
holding it like Wilma Flintstone cigarettes, you know. It's-
The station does have
Cigars,
artificial
cigarettes?
gravity, and computers will be much more intelligent by then. So you could let the computer know that the martini glass
Okay.
shouldn't have much gravity on it.
Believe it or not, I think that my otherworldly dimension idea is more plausible than what you just said.
I like the otherworldly dimension because they're not gonna update the computer every time Odo shapeshifts. I like the otherworldly pocket dimensions between alternate realities and pocket dimensions. That'll solve 99% of your, your
And I think-
sci-fi conundrums.
And Rick, because we do live in an 11-dimensional space, right, Albie? Wasn't that the last they determined that we're actually
11?
existing?
I thought it was
in-
17.
Okay.
I gotta look it
Last
up.
time I
again.
looked, it was 11. But we can only see 3 of them,
Right.
and we exist in the 4th.
Mhm.
So who knows? Maybe changelings can sense other dimensions that are ever present that we just don't have the facility to recognize.
Again, Veritasium. You got to check it out, Chris. What I was thinking was that when Odo changes from the mouse to the to Odo again, as we know as Odo, the humanoid shape, he's in a bunch of boxes and stuff. So was he part of the floor? Was he part of one of the boxes or something? Was that hidden somewhere?
No, because he was a mouse running along one of the
That's
boxes.
true.
Yeah, I mean, he was
And then that
clearly
whole-
separated.
And of course, air is fluid, so he could have turned himself in the form of air.
Maybe what you don't see is that whenever he shifts, he just leaves whatever extra goo of him behind as a puddle somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder if he can separate.
Oh, maybe it evaporates. Oh, maybe okay, like water. Okay.
water.
All right, here we
Okay,
go.
here we go.
All right. So I mean, you don't see the steam come off of him or whatever, but let's say
Right.
he shrinks down to a mouse. The excess him becomes a gas, but it's still like water vapor in the air. When he reforms himself, it condenses because it still knows that it's him, and it just kind of
what
it is
about-
the air that is around him.
What about all the Odo that you breathed in? Does it get ripped
No,
out of your body?
It's conscious. It's sentient gas.
It's
Sentient
sentient gas.
gas.
I have a lot of sentient gas. all the time.
Yeah,
yeah.
especially this time of night.
I mean, it doesn't help that I'm drinking Pellegrino at midnight, but hey, listen, we're weak. We're weak.
But
we're
but
weak.
can he
animals.
do that?
Zero here.
Can he be a gas? Do we know
Yes, he
that?
does, because when he and Kira start
Pepsi
knocking
Zero.
boots, she says to him, "I want to see the real you. Don't present yourself to me the way you think I want to see you." And he becomes completely incorporeal and sparkly and like vapor like, and
Oh, that's right.
she like spins around like the Sound of Music in
Yeah, that was awesome.
in the sensual, sexy times that Anyway,
Talk about a pocket dimension. Ew.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind visiting that dimension.
And we're going blue.
And we're blue.
So I just so you guys know, I'm I was texting. I'm texting with a friend, and she's like, "Are you still doing the Star Trek podcast?" I said, "Yes, it's just not my Star Trek podcast." And I sent her a link, so she is watching.
Awesome.
But I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "You guys need a woman on this show." Don't
Heck
disagree.
yeah. We
Don't
try.
disagree.
We
I
had
said-
one so far.
I said if you comment in the chat, then I'll read it on the air. and she said I have to be a subscriber apparently.
Only for 1 minute on
Yeah.
YouTube. That's the setting. So subscribe, wait a minute, and you can comment.
Okay, so she heard that, but she also texted fart jokes ? Yes, fart jokes.
It's nice,
we run the gamut here.
It's nice that your friend is watching.
Yeah,
Depending on when you tune in, it'll either be very highbrow sci-fi intellectual commentary or fart jokes. Could go.
I
either
think
way.
that these were highbrow intellectual commentary fart jokes.
Yeah,
Right.
scientifically.
Much like-
it's not a mutually exclusive proposition.
Much like
1700 esoteric syllables about your mama.
that's awesome. I found it strange that Odo could be a perfect mouse, but he has trouble with Bajoran noses.
True.
or any human faces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
but
mean
unless
that's
he
another
gets
thing,
unless he
you know.
gets decades of practice.
He can do every single hair on a mouse's body, but he can't
Yeah.
do nostrils.
He did the hair pretty good. I was surprised at the fidelity of this episode because it's still they're working from the analog tapes that they have.
Yeah, it's also weird. Like, and again, that's the thing that sort of kind of bumped me. But like, in the close up scene between when he and Sisko are face to face, you can see like hair like kind of on the back of his neck,
Flyaways, and
which
stuff.
wouldn't be a thing that would mean anything to anything except
Mm-hmm.
if you're talking about this character. It doesn't make sense necessarily that he'd have hair on the back of his neck.
Well, one thing that's different about Odo in the
And
first
it's not,
season-
again, I understand it's a production thing, and I just
Yeah.
I mean,
fine,
but Renee is far less made up as Odo in season 1. He has actually a much more realistic look than he does as the makeup progresses. They make him actually a little bit more rubbery, a little bit more plastic.
That
And,
was
they gave him the whole facial
yeah,
appliance.
I kinda like that.
They don't have that yet. It seems.
that was at Renee's request, I believe, that he went from like different appliances and makeup to one mask.
Okay.
Just to make
easier to
make it
apply.
easier, and also they trusted him to act through the mask, and it worked out. But I always thought it would have been a great thing to throughout the series, the 7 seasons, have him slowly more and more get better at replicating humanoids and just be Renee towards the end.
We do see in one episode where that does happen.
The time,
Yeah.
Children of
Yeah.
Time, I think.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
wanna
where
say it is.
he's transporter whatever, and he's stuck on
Yeah.
the planet for decades.
Great
like you
episode.
said. It was a good episode.
Great episode. Less like a Cabbage
it-
Patch Kid.
And it had such a pat, happy ending, like most DS9. So it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Before we do our final thoughts and ratings, what else do we have to do, Mr. Christopher D. Philippus?
We have to call out Vaughn Armstrong, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Vaughn Armstrong is in everything. The Admiral that Kira contacts is Susan Bay, who was Leonard Nimoy's wife.
Really?
Yes, believe
I
it
had
or
no
not.
idea.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And she was actually named with Vaughn Armstrong on the screen at the same time.
So
So-
Terry Farrell's mother-in-law.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, sure. Or
How
maybe
cool is that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how
Not
long
at the
they were
time.
married. Yeah, no. Well, who knows? Anyway, yeah. So ex-mother-in-law, or
Nice.
dead mother-in-law, or
Something
maybe.
like that.
So yeah, so
best
we
kind.
got we got some Star Trek royalty adjacent in this episode, and Vaughn Armstrong, who plays basically every other character on Enterprise, from what I can tell.
That's the only hard thing about the episode is you hear Vaughn Armstrong and see Vaughn Armstrong when you're supposed to be seeing a Cardassian.
Yeah, I mean, he is in so many. I think he's in more episodes of Enterprise in the first
Mm-hmm.
season than Scott Bakula is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So
All right, I clearly need to watch Enterprise.
Yeah.
I still
Oh,
have it.
Enterprise is amazing.
That's what I hear.
And you met
Well,
Captain
you know-
Archer, so it's worth a
I
watch.
have height. No one's gonna get that but me. It's fine. But I will never.
you
let
guys
it
gotta
go.
watch our quarterly podcast wrap up of meeting Scott. So
Scott.
anyway, John, who's your episode crush?
Kira. Can I say? It's I mean, both like. Okay, it's almost always Kira. This episode, it's Kira. But if it's not Kira, I'm gonna say Garak.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
very nice.
That's
Albie,
a tie between the two.
who's your episode crush, Albie?
Great minds think alike, John. I'm going back and forth between Garak and Kira. If I had to pick, I'd say Kira. Just because it's a Kira episode and she's amazing in the episode, and it's Kira. Yeah.
The manly part of me
Chris,
wants to say my episode crush or Lursa and Bator's boob windows, but
Sure.
it really is Garak.
Yeah. Yeah. He's that damn good in this episode. His first one out of the gate.
John, what's your favorite part of the episode?
Oh, that the Odo Kira scene, because it does so much to establish who she is, who he is, what they are to each other, the tone of the show, the philosophies, I guess, that they're going to be dealing with. Obviously wonderfully acted by both people.
Albie.
Yeah, you stole mine. That scene's great.
Next time, Albie.
It's fine. But I mean, it is what it is, and that's like probably my favorite part of the episode because of the acting and the writing and the directing, and it just all works. And Nana's acting in that episode really is believable and touching, and probably the best part of the episode. Yeah, Chris.
Okay, I mean that's a good one. What you guys are talking about, but come on, it doesn't hold a candle to Odo's interaction with Lursa and Bator. I absolutely love when he's giving them the business when they're trying to get on the station. So that's my favorite part of the episode. I'm the guy giving you the choice. I mean that's just badass right there. So.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of great moments, and it was weaved together so well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there 47, Albie? Besides the number of characters with speaking roles on this episode,
I was not bored, so I did not pay attention to that. I was sucked in. I was sucked into the episode so much, but I'm sure there was because by then there was a 47 everywhere.
All right. So we got that out of the way.
And
are
now
you
we got
guys
to-
ready?
47s. I would have. So I need to look for 47s every time.
Oh yeah, they're in there.
Okay.
You got to check it out. Christopher has something special planned for me and you, John. What is it, Chris?
I got you for six questions.
Six
questions.
Six.
This was Albie's idea. He wants to have a trivia off between John and himself. So I have our Seen It cards. I pulled
Is
two
it Star Trek
randomly.
trivia? Because
Yes.
It's Star Trek trivia.
just
These Seen It
trivia in
cards
general
are-
might be
they're-
okay.
They're pretty remedial, John.
You usually don't think you'll do well, John, but you do well.
Right. So I'm going to read. We're going to alternate so that we can.
Okay,
keep
and we can
tension
steal
going.
if someone says pass, right?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's make it as contentious as we possibly can. All right, so
like
who
it.
wants to go first?
The beautiful John Irons, obviously.
I'll go first.
All right, John, then you're going to get the card on the left. In the motion picture, The Final Frontier, where does Cybok plan to take the Enterprise A?
Is this multiple choice?
No.
I
I mean, there is an answer, but I'll accept more than one answer.
This is why does God need a starship, right? Is it into a rift or a nebula, something like that? It's into some anomalous celestial tomfoolery.
Something in space. So you're saying it's
Yeah.
something in space.
Yeah, it's going to take
It's-
something like that. I can't give you that one,
It's,
John.
it's,
Albie,
it's,
do you
it's
want-
like
do you want to steal?
wait. Let's see if I can recall this thing that I saw half of once.
Are you looking for a name, Chris?
Well, they give a specific name in this,
Okay.
Albie, which you can probably say, but I will also take just the place.
Where is it in space?
It's
Right.
it's
As in
oh it's
relation
the,
to-
whoa. It's like the edge of the universe, right? It's like the edge of the galaxy. Is that
so
right?
close.
The galactic rim
So close.
or something.
No, the Galactic Rim, is that in the Yo Mama book? Anyway.
Your mama's so big, she disrupted Captain Kirk and made Dinar have psychic
Your
power.
mama's so big, Kirk's still lost in her Galactic Rim.
Is that a haiku?
Did I just
Your
spontaneously
mama's
make
so
a haiku?
big. Kirk's still
That
lost.
Kirk is still
within-
lost
Well, let's say Captain
inside
Kirk is
her
still
galactic
lost
rim. Yes.
in her galactic rim. Boom.
I did it. All right.
Thank you for showing how easy it was to write the book that we wrote.
The Galactic
so
Rim. I'm gonna Google
sorry,
that later.
John. Albie, would you care to steal?
Shakari. The center of
Shakari
the...
that is the official
The
answer.
center?
It's the center of the
Center.
galaxy. You were so close.
Damn it. I
Yeah.
knew it was some edge.
All right, so that's one for Albie. Wait, I'm gonna have to keep score here. Like this is too much. All right.
John's
Yeah.
used to it. I'm sure he can keep score.
I can, but we can just assume that
19,
you're gonna
five.
win.
I have a piece of paper right here.
All right, so it's
All
like
right, so
one
that's
point
one
for
for
a correct
Albie.
answer. Okay.
AJ. Albie's got 1. So here's my official scorekeeping. A and J.
Oh, that's her cool. That's her cool couple name, John.
Yeah.
AJ.
AJ.
All right, AJ. Okay, it's time for A.
Always time
What?
for A.
What androgynous alien race is introduced in the Next Generation episode The Outcast?
I don't know their name.
Yeah, I remember the episode. I don't.
Yeah,
remember
a great
the name of the
episode.
species.
Let's start with the T.
If you count the.
No, I pass.
You know what? Okay.
I don't get
Like
it,
the
John.
Okay,
Vulcans.
so I'm gonna argue for an alternate answer. I don't
Okay.
remember the name of the species, but I do remember the name of the character. It was
Oh,
Ucha.
that's good.
It was Utah. Ucha was.
Albie will have to verify that. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Okay. What's the name of the?
Utah, isn't that the chick from Nightmare on Elm Street that murders somebody?
I don't know.
'Cause
But
eggs a la
what's the
Utah.
name? Give me the name of the episode again.
The Outcast.
The Outcast. Yeah, Utah to me is the chick that played Alice in Nightmare on Elm Street when she was a guest star on the show. And she
Janai.
was
Heather
trying to kill
Lockenkamp?
Janai
What
is
was
the
that?
race.
Janai.
Wait,
That's
did
right,
you
right?
just look it up?
Yeah, he's looking it up.
I'm
Okay,
looking
well,
it
I
up
mean,
so I can.
If
prove
you're right
that
on
the-
Utah, John, I'm going to take a page out of the Captain Game Show rules, and you will get a half a point. If
Correct
Utah
enough?
is correct. Half a point.
All right. Pocket space. A member of the Janai named Soren insists on accompanying Michael and Soren. Soren proves to be a Kabbalah. Oh no, it's Soren.
What was their
Something
name?
else.
Soren? Interesting.
Soren was their name.
Yeah, all I remember about that episode is husks. I kept trying to figure out how the husks worked.
All right, we're moving on. Sorry, John, no half point for you. Not yet.
Fair
anyway.
enough.
Okay. and
All right, John.
John's
This
turn.
is going back to John Irons, the beautiful John Irons.
The beautiful John Irons.
I'm like,
What?
how do I feel like I'm getting every other question, but I'm getting every question wrong?
Because Albie had to steal. What was the final episode of the original Star Trek to air in the 1960s on NBC?
Ooh.
That's an easy one. Come on, you know
It's not. Is it The Final Frontier?
Good guess.
No, sorry. You're wrong, sir. You lose. How about you, Albie?
I'm
What
going to say
did you-
Turnabout Intruder.
You are absolutely right. That's 2 points for Albie. It's 2-0.
Women cannot be starship captains.
Mm-hmm.
At
I've
least
never
she
heard of
doesn't
such a
think
thing.
so.
I've never heard of this.
Right? You never heard of Janice Lester?
Crazy episode.
Dr.
I'm
Janice
Captain
Lester. It's
Kirk.
body. It's
I've
the
heard the
body
women
swap
can't be
episode.
captains thing. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so Janice Lester hijacks Kirk's body, and
Yep.
he's stuck in her body.
Yeah.
So-
Not a great way to go out on the series.
Oh.
And Janice Lester is completely unhinged. She
If
is the
only.
definition of hysteria.
If
Yeah.
only she had
She's
a
just
penis,
hysterical
she could've
without
been
her
a starship
vagina.
captain.
She's got Kirk's vagina instead.
Yep.
So I think there's a haiku in there too.
Yeah, you know, Kirk spent some time with himself.
Actually, it's
Well, he and Lester had already been,
that's
doing
actually
it.
the name of my new fanfic book, Kirk's Vagina.
I'd buy that one too.
Kirk's vagina
Chris has
is
got
in
2
it.
books. You need 2 books as well, John.
Kirk's vagina is my DJ name. John,
Yes.
you just got that one wrong. So this next one is for Albie. What drug does the Dominion use to control the Jem'Hadar?
Oh, John knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's your question, Albie.
Okay, I know it.
So
You can
say
take it, Albie. It's fine.
Okay, Tetracell White.
None of us expected
All
me
right,
to
is
win
right.
this.
So that's 3 for Albie. All right, John. David Warner played the Klingon Chancellor in the motion picture The Undiscovered Country. What part did he play in the previous motion picture The Final Frontier?
Yeah. No. I don't know. Stop asking me questions about this movie.
Oh, you got to get the VHS box set, John. Watch those movies again.
No. I think I've seen the final. Actually, wait. Was that? Actually, no. I've seen that one. Oh, okay. Wait.
So you're asking who did David Warner play in which movie?
The Final Frontier.
Okay, Final Frontier.
No, I'm thinking Undiscovered Country. Nope. I don't know.
Do you know, Albie?
Go ahead.
The Federation representative on the planet of galactic peace.
I can give you a half a point for that. You don't know his name?
I should. I can mouth the words when I watch it. No.
It is Ambassador St. John Talbot.
Yes.
No, that
Yes.
was not happening.
I never would have gotten that. So, and
I-
this
I've-
last question goes to
I kinda
Albert Mark
knew.
Burge.
Halfway.
I just wonder if Albie's going to get this one. In what popular series did Scott Bakula play the time traveler?
Play along at
Sam
home,
Beckett?
folks.
Is this one?
This is for
me?
Albie.
This is tough because it's not about Star Trek.
In what popular
I'm
series
trying to
did
think.
Scott Bakula play the time traveling Sam Beckett? Let me see.
You know what, Chris?
if
I
can get some
was
help
fine
here.
accepting my loss, but like the level of rigged that
Let me
this was.
see what my hand computer says.
Beep, 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 beep. Does this count as my answer?
Ziggy? Yes, it does. So
Is
Ziggy,
it-
tell me what is the answer to this one? Come on, you rotten pile of gummy bears. Anyway,
Is it
thank
Quantum
you,
Leap?
Morgan Feldman. It is the leap.
The great Morgan Feldman.
That is constant. That is quantum.
Wow, if I was ever meant to answer a question, I think that was the one.
Yeah, John. It's just the luck of the
so
cards.
it's a virtual tie.
So I'm sorry.
You don't decide which player gets which
The
questions.
official score is yes. I don't decide which
Yeah.
player gets which questions. I'm so sorry, John.
That's
I'm
fine.
so sorry.
So I got 4 out of 6.
Yeah,
And-
you got
oh,
4 out of
4.5
3.
out of 6.
Yeah, 4.
I got 4 out of 3.
4.5 out of 3. That's not bad. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you,
4 out of
Chris.
3 ain't bad, Albie. So congratulations to Albie. You win forever. Now John has to be a butler for a month.
Okay.
All right.
Wouldn't
Because
mind that.
my
There
butler.
will be a slight delay in me bringing your beverages, sir. I've got to commute from DC.
I have 4 beverages right now, so I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate
All
it.
right. Now that ugliness is behind us, John. Oof. Who's got a
Look.
trick and tell? Because I don't.
Ugliness. When I win, it's ugliness?
No, I meant just the complete
the
destruction.
massacre.
Yeah,
the
the
massacre.
rouse. They was a
Well,
bloodbath.
John, you Tetrasail White, so.
The no longer beautiful John Irons, the now mangled
always
and mutilated John Irons.
The eternally beautiful John Irons.
He's beautiful as long as we remember his beauty in our heart.
Right, exactly.
As long as we remember him.
Who's got a truck and tell? Because I do not.
Do you got one, John?
Hang on, let me roll my 100-sided die. And I'll give you another. Where did I do the thing?
Another haiku?
Another haiku. Okay. The dice says 99. Ooh, okay. All right.
Ooh, that was Get Smart Squeeze.
Oh, this is good. You're gonna like this one because
Wow,
it's
yeah.
Barbara
because
Feldon. All right.
Loved
it's
her.
it's
Still do.
it's science fiction-y.
It's in my bank.
All right, so the first several actually, they're all categories, but then at the end you got miscellaneous and another thing that didn't really fit into any of the
Alright.
previous categories. So number 99, your mom sucks so bad, her mere presence creates an event horizon.
Which is not unlike the singularity at the center of our galaxy where Shakari is. So
Yes.
if only you had known that, you would
The
have had
Galactic
these-
Rim, as it's
The
called.
Galactic Rim.
That's what they call it in the hood.
Of course, I showed this last time promoting this episode. What time is
Oh.
it? Deep Space Nine time. Still haven't opened it.
It's
Oh, that's
it's
nice.
the Cisco time.
Yep, it's a Deep Space Nine watch. But what I really wanted to show off was this: the making of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Ooh, where'd you get that?
I think I paid full price at a bookstore back in the day.
Ooh.
It's very good. It's got a. Let me see if I can flip it this way. It's got all the technical manual stuff, and then there's like a color section in there.
Wow.
A lot of production photos,
Neato.
and just like the whole story of basically the production of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's an amazing book. Ooh, got a wedding invitation in there.
I never went in for
wonder if that's
stuff
got a
like
date on
that. Until Matt did Beyond the Mirror Image, I don't think I ever had like a making of kind of book.
You know me, I just pick up anything that's Star Trek.
Yes,
So.
that I do know.
Judith and Garfield Reeves Stevens.
Oh,
well
then
known.
it's the authority, the Star Trek, the final say.
An
all things
in-depth
Trek.
look behind the scenes of the smash hit television series, The Making of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Highly recommended. I haven't read it since I was like 16, 17, 19, some teen. But I really read it cover to cover, and
One of the
I enjoyed
teens.
it. I have fond memories of it. So,
Judith and Gar also wrote all of William Shatner's Trek books.
oh, maybe that's why I liked it so much. I love
Yeah.
all those.
So anything
my
that
Trek
has
and Tell
William
for this
Shatner's, name on the cover is really a Judy and Gar book.
Do you have the DS9 Nitpicker's Guide, or do I
No.
have that? One of us has that.
No, I just
do.
have the next gen one because you sent it to me
Oh, okay.
as we were reviewing next gen. I don't even think I have a DS9 paperback.
Ooh.
No, I lie.
Emissary novelization.
I lie because I was reading them all on my iPad, but I did find one called The Soul Key.
What's that about?
But it's somewhere in a box. I don't know where it is, but it takes place in the post-series continuity of novels somewhere. And believe it or not, it fits in somehow with Enterprise because it's listed on if you want to do a more expanded Enterprise novel reading, because they have like a core 7 that I'm going to read. And then they have increasingly longer lists. And Soul Key shows up on one of those lists because I guess it ties in somehow.
Is Archer in there?
In Soul Key, I don't know. I'll let you know
cool.
when I read it.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I meant to, but I kind of petered out in the middle of the DS9 books because I've already said this on the show before, so I won't repeat myself. But anyway, go back and listen to why I petered out on the DS9 books. John, I know that you read a haiku. Did you ever get any kind of like Trek stuff? I know that you've had like T-shirts here and there, but do you get like
Oh, like do I
swag or...
do I purchase
Merch?
Like,
yeah, like
do I-
merch. Are you a merch guy?
No, I will occasionally get stuff, and I think I've probably shown them all for all of the little Trek and Tells on like I've got a Voltron Black Lion. I've got a Wolverine action figure that has like apparently it's like from a scene where he stabs Rogue in like the original X-Men. They made an action figure like that does exactly that, which I thought
Stabby
was
Wolverine.
bizarre as hell.
So you don't collect toys much.
I don't collect toys much. I've got Barb from the first season of Stranger Things.
Oh,
'cause
nice.
No one respects Barb.
Barb, that's Winona Ryder.
No,
No.
Barbara's, that's her best friend.
That's the best friend who
Oh,
goes
the one
missing because
in the upside down
yeah,
she gets-
because she didn't
from
because
the swimming
her-
pool.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Poor Barb.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Barb. And I think I've got a little Bumblebee here, I think. And I've got
nice.
a Bakugo who fans of My Hero Academia would recognize, but no one else would. And okay, so this isn't a visual thing, which I guess probably goes against the rules, but I just want to say my friend who was watching, she says Quantum Leap, says everyone knows that, even I know that. It's like I'm trying to climb through the screen. She also uses some foul language, saying how upset she is. But
Is she commenting on
and
YouTube
we're
yet?
live.
She's very upset that that I didn't get the 2 questions that I did the answer to.
Yeah.
So shame on you, Chris, for not.
I just got lucky.
Feeding me the
Okay.
easy questions.
Now you know what it feels like to get the shitty questions on Captain Game Show.
I did. And also I'm going to do a shout out, which we should probably start doing anytime we're on mic, Chris, is Magic City Con in Birmingham, Alabama.
Are we sure it's happening?
Seems to be happening. I guess there's a website, so it must be true. But it's July. It's scheduled for July 11th through 13th this year in Birmingham, Alabama, like the Hyatt in Hoover, and a lot of Cosmic Potato, Infant Potato podcasters will be there I don't know if I would say appearing, but we'll be in attendance and probably on some panels.
Yep.
But even if you don't see us, support your local nerd gathering,
Yeah, there's
including
one-
but not limited to Magic City Con, if and when it happens.
Yeah, so we're gonna be there. I already have my hotel room. I'm just waiting to make sure that the con is actually a thing, and I can buy the tickets before I get my flight.
Very cool.
Because the flight's not refundable. The hotel room is.
You're flying, Chris?
Yeah, I was thinking about driving. I was thinking about even driving and swinging and getting John from DC. And
Oh, were you really going to do that?
yeah,
I'm
because I
down.
do love driving, but it's like a 17-hour drive. It's too much,
Yeah.
But it's an infinite flight.
you know.
You're going to be a Langolier by the end of it.
I
Remember to
think
leave me penny.
I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Yeah, and yeah. Speaking of which, I just want to give a shout out. I'm not going to be able to go to it because we're going away, but Trek Long Island is also happening in a couple of weeks here on Long Island.
That was big last year.
And Andy is going to be there. Terry is going to be there. Andy is going to be there. Yeah, I believe a couple of more like real names that will be.
John
there
could
as
drive
well.
up for that, maybe.
Yeah.
Take the train.
But
you
yeah,
can't go?
unfortunately, well,
Maybe.
just I mean a little behind the scenes since Laura graduated, the gift, and again we've just been planning it, but we've just been waiting to pull the trigger. Is she's always wanted to take a trip to certain parts of Europe, so we're going and we're leaving like 2 days after the weekend. So anyway, I have so much stuff to get ready before the trip that I can't really spend days at a time at a con. Anyway, but it's called Trek Long Island. It's happening here the weekend of June. I think June the 31st and the 1st. So yeah, it's like May into June. So
Yeah, the people from Trek Culture were there, and they came all the way from like Ireland and stuff to go to Trek Long Island. So
yeah, so yeah, I mean, so I've done. These are the same people who put on Li Who. And I've been a guest there before as both a Quantum Leap author. They've asked me to do Quantum Leap panels. And also when we were doing 11/22/63, an event podcast, and Castle Rock, they had us on. So, yeah, they're great over there. And if you guys want a good local con here on the island, I would recommend doing that.
Yeah, May 30th through June 1st, and Terry Farrell will be there.
Yeah, Terry Farrell, Andrew Robinson, and I believe at least one other or two other actors that you may know. The other reason I'm not too upset about going is because, like you said, Albie, when you went to Trek Las Vegas, it's just like everybody there has a podcast. And even though I know them and it's a smaller venue, I can't see us getting like some kind of interview time with the principal guests. Like I don't see us getting Terry or Andy to talk to Trek Exploration. Just
depends.
If
you give them the $50 for their photo, maybe.
I would, yeah, that's what I'd have to do. And I probably, what I do want to do though is keep it in mind for next year and try to plan more conscientiously around it. So I apologize to everybody that I won't be able to go this year and bring at least some content back to the show. But we'll be doing this for a good long time, and I'll look for those opportunities. I'll be more assiduous. Is that a good word? In
I'll look it up.
Yeah, defining the opportunities that present themselves so that we can enrich your viewing experience here on Trek Exploration. It's time for final thoughts, guys. We've been going for we're almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we're running long. Sorry to anybody who wanted to call in.
Yeah, we're just
we'll be doing this again next week, and we'll take the calls earlier. My apologies. So save those calls and Trek and Tells.
Yes.
For next time. The Omnipotent Willard is joining us. Hello, Omnipotent Willard. The Omnipotent Willard! Great guy. Just joining us, so he'll have to go back. Well, he's omnipotent, so he's already kind of seen it, right?
He's there. He's back. He's
been there.
He's everywhere.
He will have been there again.
He's somehow omnipotent.
So, when I feel safe to fly again, I would love to go to Trek Long Island.
All right, yeah. So maybe we can figure it out.
If you ever want to go to MegaCon with me and Serenity, it's
hey,
Orlando.
you're not too far away from Birmingham. You could probably drive up from Florida.
I accidentally was in Birmingham a couple months ago.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, really?
I was driving through Atlanta, and it said "Welcome to Atlanta," and I was like, "Where was I?" I was in Alabama.
Right.
So fun times, good times. Nice place, nice people. I met so many great people there. So final thoughts and ratings. We'll let the guest, the beautiful John Irons, go first.
I hadn't thought about that at all. You go out of 5? You got a 10?
Out of 5, and it has to be wacky things from the episode or things.
Wacky
from
thing
the
out of
episode.
5.
Out of 5, and you
Okay.
can go up to 10 if you want.
Yes.
All right. I'm
And
gonna
I
give
haven't
this.
thought of mine
I'm gonna
yet.
give this 4.5 inconsistent mice masses.
4.5, nice.
4.5.
Nice. Final thoughts on it?
Oh, it's a really good episode. Really good episode. There were only a couple of things that, like I said, I mean, you know, if you distill this whole podcast down, it's 90% praise and 5%. Well, that was a little off, and the other 5% of galactic fart jokes, I think.
There we go. I
Happy
like it.
birthday to someone.
Yeah,
Happy
is it your birthday,
birthday.
Albie? I'm
No,
confused.
well, soon. I think we'll do another episode before then. I hope.
Okay. When is your
But
birthday?
Thank you.
Tell us.
The 8th of June.
Okay. So
Yes.
like Tom Beckett's death and Sam Beckett's birth are on the 8th, right? Tom was April the 8th, and
Oh, yeah, April the
Sam
8th.
was August the 8th.
I'm June the 8th,
And now you're June the 8th.
1975.
Believe it or not, that's the only way I'll be able to remember this. So-
Okay.
Oh, happy
June the
birthday
8th.
to him!
Who?
I'm
Oh.
nipping at John Willow. He's 54.
Oh, happy birthday,
Oh,
Willard.
he's such a baby, 54.
All right. Willard,
You are not
Willard.
that much older than 54.
I'm amending my my previous statement. Go ahead and call us and join us for the credits here, so we can say happy birthday to you. We always got time for Willard. So I'll go my final thoughts, and then Chris can go. I'm going to say this is a perfect episode. The 5% that wasn't that bumped us, I didn't notice while watching it, so I'm not going to count it. I'm going to give it. I'm going to say it's one of the strongest Star Trek episodes I've seen in recent weeks, and say I'm going to give it 5 boob windows.
Oh, you stole mine. You
I went for the easy
son
one.
of a beach.
I went for the easy one, and
Yeah.
as always, the eloquent Christopher D. Philippus can wrap us up with all that.
Well, yeah, I mean, final thoughts on this one. What's there to be said that we haven't said? We did gush a little bit, but I feel like that's going to happen a lot with DS9. And just setting the scene and really laying the foundation for so many wonderful things to come. And I feel like I'm extra fortunate in having seen it again with not only the knowledge of the entire series to help ground it and to frame it, but also with a lot of the different things that we learned about from the What We Left Behind documentary. You can just keep coming back to this well and finding new wonderful things to discover and explore and to help you see things in a new way, because so much more has come to light about DS9 and the making of it, and just so it's all there and it all enriches the experience. And as a result, I would say, because it's so strong, that this one, just like John, I think 4.5. We'll give it 4.5 simple tailors out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just one of those episodes that is kind of like a stealth episode for me, because it's not one that I think about or remember, but as I watched it, I was just blown away. Great job by all. Great job
And
by
if
all.
you would like to tell us what you think about this episode, the best way to do it, of course, is right here on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@Exploration. Go right down below and comment on the comment section. That is how we will increase our algorithm and get more eyes on the
Subscribe.
show.
John Iron's
And
friend, subscribe.
Subscribe. You can also subscribe on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Trexploration. You can tell us what you think there, and you can also support the show. There are many different tiers. You can hit us up on Instagram @TrexplorationPod. You can blue sky us at Trexploration.
Blue sky, smiling at me.
You
Nothing but
can
blue
do a
skies.
TikTok dance, do interpretive TikTok dance on what you think of this episode at Trexploration. Email us trexplorationpod@gmail.com, and you can send me your boob window to PO Box 542, Bayport, New York
God love a boob window.
11705. PO Box 542, Bayport, New York 11705.
Aw.
You know, they
Just remember-
sell envelopes that have like the window, like so much just draw like this. Draw the Klingon boobs. Just
Oh,
between the
John,
eyebrows.
you're
I
such
wonder
an
what
artist.
was push up, what was implant. I don't know.
You are such a.
It needs
I
further
think
research.
It's all a little bit of. Yeah, I think that's something we need to have a detailed report on the first time or the next time we see the Bator sisters.
Yes,
Or the Duras sisters.
There we go. The omnipotent Willard. It's his birthday. Happy
Hey,
birthday,
Hey!
Willard!
Happy birthday.
Oh,
sir.
Happy
That's a lot.
birthday
Birthday
to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear the omnipotent Willard.
Omnipotency.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
The omnipotent Willard.
And many
Thanks.
more.
54. You're a few years older than me. I think you're right tied with Chris.
Nope, I'm older.
Really? John Iron's the baby out of
Just a
all
bit
this.
older.
Apparently.
You're 54 too, aren't you, Chris?
No, I'm 55.
Oh, you're 55.
Wow.
Oh,
1955?
I'm an old man.
okay.
Great Scott!
I did my math wrong. I thought you were just a couple of months older than me.
No, sorry, Willard. Sorry. Yeah.
No one will ever know how old John Irons is. He's ageless,
And timeless.
timeless. Great series, great series. I have it on Blu-ray from Australia. Happy birthday, the omnipotent Willard.
Yeah, Willard. Yeah, we're sorry that
I'm
we
going to
can't
make this
really.
quick because I know you guys said you've been.
Yeah, we're at
going
2
for a
hours
while.
30 now.
Yeah, we're at 2.5 hours, and I only contracted these guys for an hour and a half. So, but we just wanted to say happy birthday.
Yeah, I got in touch with a friend I haven't talked to in about 8 years. Not since last time I saw him was my dad's funeral, and we have a standing appointment every Friday now to FaceTime. So
Oh, good.
I've been staying up on Thursdays to do this, but you guys haven't been doing it on Thursdays, and then you surprised me today with this one. But I already had the prior plans.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're glad that you're watching. Thank you
Yeah.
for watching.
And
Thanks
thank you for
everybody
spending
who's
part
out
of your
there
birthday with
watching.
us.
Everybody,
Yeah, well, I didn't have any other plans.
send your birthday wishes to the omnipotent Willard.
Christopher, what's up next for Trek Exploration?
Well, we are going to return to our next gen recap, and we're almost done with season 1. It's going to be
Exciting
season
times.
1, episode 22, Symbiosis.
Symbiosis, the drug dealer episode
Is
with
that
David
the one?
Marcus. I think
The
so.
one with David Marcus?
Is it?
Or is it with the guy who turns into pure light, pure energy?
Is that the host? No, that's the
I don't recall. Anyway.
John Irons.
So,
Yeah,
the one
Symbiosis.
that, the one
We'll
that
find out
Beverly
next
is
time.
sweet on. The one that Beverly's
I'm
sweet
sorry, I'm off the clock.
Yeah, no overtime.
do wanna-
Sorry.
I would
And
like to show this to you if you've got a moment.
Sure.
You asked a question on the forums a while back. And of course, you should have already have known.
Wow, that's a
Oh
Trek and Tell.
wow!
You're
Haven't
really
been open,
Dedication.
may never be open, but at least it's in the collection.
That's
so
good.
that's
Is that the
for those of
4K?
you listening on the
It's,
on
it's
the
4K.
podcast feed.
I don't have a 4K player, but it's 4K Blu-ray.
Cool.
Willard
and it's
somehow
just-
decided to ruin his birthday by buying himself a copy of Section 31.
I've had it for a month. I've been waiting for you guys to do a show so I could.
I think the main reason to own that is for the sense of completion.
That's it. I'm a completist. I mean,
Yep.
There you go.
can you imagine the heck or the hell I'm going through with the Arrowverse since they did Crisis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Willard.
Of course, I've got some of those. I already have the Flash, the original Flash series, and the
Arrow.
no, the Black Canary, the one with Black Canary, and
Ah,
only ran
Oh.
one season, but I got that one, and
Birds of Prey. Is that what it was?
yeah, Birds of Prey.
I did like Birds of Prey. Very
Um,
short-lived.
Some
Yeah.
poop
But
windows in that, if I recall.
There's so many others. Baby. I mean, the Batman 66 series I don't have yet. I'm gonna get that now. Same stuff.
Happy
All right,
birthday,
well,
Willard.
it's good to have goals. I hope that you don't continually hurt yourself by buying shit like Section 31.
Yeah, just don't open it. You'll be safe.
You know,
Keep it in the freezer with your copy of The Shining.
like I said in my comments when Albie asked if anybody was going to buy it, I said mine was already ordered, and I got it 2 days after it was released. The only reason I bought it is because it's Star Trek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm only going to buy it if I see it in real life. That's my rule.
I'm going to wrap this up by saying,
Yep.
better you than me. Next bonus show, Albie, we got to discuss this.
Yeah, I was thinking
What were you thinking?
The USS Callister. We do both the episodes from Black Mirror.
Oh wow, that's kind of a commitment. That's like 2 hours.
It's like 2 hours each. But it's
You know
good.
what? We'll
Have you
discuss
seen
it.
it?
You know,
Well,
I'll
to
take
watch it,
under,
but not to talk about them.
I'll take it under advisement.
Yeah,
and we'll.
And if you
discuss
have
it
any
at the
other
end of
ideas, I'm open to
Symbiosis.
it.
Yeah,
And our
yeah.
community, our crew. If you
Yeah,
have
that's true.
ideas
Yeah,
of
I don't
what
know. Do you guys want to
us
see
do.
us do stuff that's sort of Star Trek adjacent, like the
Yeah.
Callister? Yeah,
It's Star Trek adjacent with Albie and Chris.
I think everything we do in our lives is Star Trek adjacent. Let's
It
just be
is.
serious. All right. So
All right.
yeah, maybe the Callister, maybe not, but definitely
Something
symbiosis
Might come up. If you have any great ideas, we do need a Starfleet historian to help us through figuring out what cool things are coming up, anniversaries. But I think that about wraps it up. We're over 2.5 hours. Thank you so much for everybody joining us. Happy birthday, the
Happy
omnipotent
birthday, Willard.
Happy birthday, Willard.
Everybody reach out to Willard and tell him happy birthday. And thank you for
Please.
spending part of your birthday with us. And for Trek Exploration, I'm Albie.
I'm Chris.
I'm John.
I'm Willard.
The omnipotent Willard! And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See you guys next time.
Bye. Bye, John's book.
Bye, John's book.
Bye, Bonds.
Oh, I thought you were saying buy like buy, but no, buy like buy.
Bye. Yeah, bye.
BY. Buy, sell, buy, sell.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
go ahead and log out, guys.
All right. Thank you, Willard. Make sure it
Thanks,
uploads.
Willard.
I will.
Happy
We really appreciate it.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
don't
we
know. If,
couldn't go longer.
I don't know if the audio is still going, but she's like, "Quit mentioning me on the show." I'm like, yeah, it's too late.
Did you say a name?
You didn't
Did you
mention her
say
by
a name?
name.
No, I never said her name.
You never
You're,
said
you're
name.
gonna text me a name and a picture later, right?
I was gonna ask you if it's so and so, and then I said, nah, they probably don't want their name mentioned if John's not mentioning it. So
It's not so and so.
okay, so at least you know who so and so is.
Yeah.
I still
Well,
didn't get to show this. Maybe next episode.
But is that a sock? Oh wow.
TNG.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hit stop. Thank you, everybody that joined us live. Sorry for all the technical things that kept us later and missing out on Willard, but happy birthday, Willard.
Happy birthday, Willard.
All right. See y'all next time. We'll see you next week.
Buy the book.
Buy the book. I'm buying the book.
There's even extra Haiku.
I might drive to Alabama to get it signed.
And in case if you didn't know,